Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please give a warm welcome to the hosts of the SWA Happy Hour, Dom and Chris.
Superheroes and no Batman, and my own salvation sits in my hands. Maybe there's some heaven or some kind of hell. Which way I'm going, I just can't tell, just can't tell. It's nothing to do with magic. No, it's nothing to do with magic. The price I paid is tragic. Here I go, slowly dissolving. There is no Neverland, and I'm no Peter Pan. Life slips through my fingers like grains of sand. If there's a heaven or some afterlife, what have I got to do to get it right, get it right? It's nothing to do with magic. It's nothing to do with magic. The price I paid is tragic. Here I go, slowly dissolving.
Good evening, everybody, and there he is, everybody's favorite masked man in our community, Mr. Smith. And Mr. Smith is our featured artist this evening, so we will be playing him off and on during the course of the night. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you all are well. You'll see I am solo, but not for long. Dom is standing by. He's close at hand, and he's just putting some food in his mouth because he just got back from a kid activity, so he will be joining us here shortly. In the interim, hi. Hi, everybody. Glad to have you with me. I will go in the chat real quick and say hi, and we're going top down tonight. So, who was first in? None other than the Dog Paw. How are you? David from Live to Fly channel. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Chris Lane, whoever that clown is. The real Justine is with us, of course. Camellia from Down Under. Good day to you. Good to see you. Also, I noticed Chad Freeman has joined us. Good to see you. And our guest this evening, Mr. Smith, has got up at the crack of dawn or the middle of the night or whatever. It's stupid o'clock over in the UK, but he is kind enough to join us for as long as he is able to hold up. Maybe he can get himself some burgers or something. But very nice to see Mr. Smith tonight. Thank you for joining us. And we have 3 Dot Dave with us, and of course Brenda, Freedom Redbird. So great to see you guys, and we will have others joining us shortly as this tends to, as the show goes on, more and more folks stumble in. So this is me tap dancing for just a couple minutes, and before we get to our lively conversation of what Dom and I have been doing the last 2 weeks. Those of you who were with us last week know that it wasn't, in fact, live. We ran a little experiment because neither he and I were really going to be available to do the show like we normally do. Both Dom and I were able to be in chat a little bit. But we ran a little experiment and did a best of clips. And I know I'm going to say best of in quotes because it was the best of stuff I could lay my hands on in the about a week that I had to put that together. So we've been doing this show for over 18 months now. So there's more stuff and better stuff, but that's what we had at our ready. And so we put that together, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was kind of a fun concept for you and kind of highlighted some of the chats we've had with various people over the past year. And I'm sure we will do that again, although we may do it in a little different formatting in the future. We may do, and it's just a kind of a limitation of StreamYards. They do not allow you to do more than an hour at a time and load it. So we had to upload a 3-hour video, which was enormous, to my channel and then run it off that. And there was a lot of behind the scenes tomfoolery that went on to pull that off. But it ran very smoothly with no glitches. We were grateful for that, and we were grateful for everybody that came and chatted. It was amusing us how many people were coming in and going, wait a minute, is this live? That can't be live because I'm me and I'm there, but I'm here. It caused some people some consternation, which was kind of amusing for us. But we were having a good time with it. Hopefully you guys did too. So, again, welcome everybody that's here. This has been a week, and I'll share and commiserate with Dom when he gets on. But you go out of town and in my case, I was basically out of town for 2.5 weeks. I was out of town on business. I came back for literally 3 days, and then we loaded up the car and went for my 35th wedding anniversary trip to Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and had a marvelous time. It was wonderful. And then, as you guys know, when you go out of town, back to flipping reality. And reality was really real this week. So basically had to do 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week and all the other stuff that piled up. So that has been entertaining, to say the least. Let's see. Are you the only one? What? 3 Dot Dave. Oh, it depends on which chat you're in. Yeah, if you're in my chat, hey, that's cool and that's wonderful. But Dave, if you want to hit the link on the top there that I've pinned, that's where we are. We alternate weeks, and those of you who are regulars are probably tired of this. I get like Hickey, hey, send me an email, but don't send me an email because I don't want to read them. Boom. We alternate chats every week. So last week we were in mine, this week we're in Dom. So if you want to click that link on top, you'll come over and you'll find all your friends there, and then you can have better chats. That's just kind of how we run again, a limitation of StreamYard, and StreamYard's days are numbered. I gotta say, I have looked into other streaming programs, and Dom and I are going to have a conference on this. But once they hit us with the price increase, we may be moving on elsewhere, and hopefully, some of the other software has a little better capability in that most of them can multi-stream, but combining the chat is what we really care about. And so we're going to see if we can find a program that allows us to do that. Yeah, you're right, Justina. Sometimes it's almost not worth it, except for it so was. We had a lovely, lovely time. The weather was fantastic, and we had all kinds of fun adventures. I took her out on ATVs, which we'd never done before as a couple. And we went to a working buffalo ranch. So we toured the buffalo ranch, and we got very close to the fluffy cows, and then went on top of the mountain. And you know, it's fantastic because this whole ranch is basically a rehabilitated strip coal mine. If you didn't know it was a strip coal mine, you know, in the 90s, you would never know it because it's all been covered. The brush and trees have all grown in, and it's really fantastic. And it's a great place to raise buffalo. And they have like 500 head of buffalo there. So that was fun. That was a good time. And we went in 3 different hot springs, and we just had a good time. So I see 3 Dot Davis made it over. So good. Saying hi to everybody. That's fantastic. But we did a number of other activities, but those were the highlights. And we found a couple new restaurants that we really liked in town. It's a ski town and in the winter, and they have just some terrific high-end restaurants, and they're happy to see people. Yeah, yes, buffalo are huge, and when you get up close and personal, you go, oh my God, please don't get grumpy with me because you can throw this ATV across the pasture, no problem. But they were, again, they're used to people, the ranch hands and people on the ATVs, so they were like, whatever. And they actually have, it's not a true white buffalo, it's not an exact albino, but it was basically a big blonde buffalo. It was very cool. And I should have uploaded some pictures. That's my bad on that. And I don't want this to be like a slideshow, what Chris did over summer vacation, but we had a good time. The Buffalo Ranch was fun. Yeah, they're big. They're not scary as long as you respect their size and power, because they can run 40 miles an hour. They can get from here to there very quickly if they so choose to. So you just want to be respectful of them, and they'll leave you be. Yeah, and we see them when they get grumpy with the tourists up in Yellowstone and start headbutting the cars, and that car does not do well. But yeah, they're very cool, and it's nice to see them. You know, we had in this country, and we say buffalo, but they're not buffalo. They're truly bison. Buffalo are Asian and European. They're related. They're, you know, similar animals, but There truly are bison. And in this country, we were down to 300, 800 head at one point, but they've made a tremendous comeback. And there's buffalo all over the West. Montana's lousy with them. The city of Denver owns literally several buffalo herds. If you go up I-70 west, there's a big buffalo herd that the city owns in one of their parks, open spaces there, and on the former Rocky Mountain Arsenal where they used to make bomb triggers and everything. That is a big buffalo herd there now, along with a wildlife preserve. So you can see buffalo here. Now, there are wild horses in this area where we were, but we didn't happen to see them. And we missed the moose. The moose was wandering in downtown Steamboat, and we happened to be out of town doing something else when he was down by the river, so we missed the moose. But we saw all kinds. We saw bald eagles. We had a bald eagle literally fly over our head, which was very cool. And again, unless you get up close, you have no idea. Those birds are enormous. They are big, powerful, majestic creatures, so that was very cool to see. And we just had a very good time. But now back to reality, and reality is very real. Hopefully some of you folks got your Timber song out. I did not this year. I failed miserably because of the traveling. Had something in the works, and at the rate I'm going, if I get it out by October, it will be semi-amazing. Just wasn't happening. I kind of last minute Charled it last year and ended up with a good song that I'm very happy with and proud. The Stronger song, which went on the Russ 88-89 Cancer album. And I mean, I literally got there last second, but this year not happening. So anyway,
Good
hey,
evening, sir.
there's that guy. How are you?
How are ya? Hey, everybody, what's going on? Sorry I'm late to my own party.
Well, I explained that you had business that you had to attend to. So it's great to see you.
Had some business.
Business. Got to do that business.
Gotta do the business. Hey, Red Bird, what's up, Justine?
Yeah, now you get to say
Great
hi to
dog,
everybody.
Dave. And everyone else. Hey, Camellia.
Yes, we've already got the mandatory dog paw food lecture out of the way, so that was good.
Okay, did he explain how something we all like was about to kill us all?
He just said, there's food, what he eats, and then what the rest of us eat, which is not food.
That's true.
And again, is ranch dressing Italian food asking for a friend?
The things that stick.
I know, right?
Hey, dudes and ranch dressing. That will be my epitaph.
Yeah, could be. We did hit a very nice
Schmitty?
Italian. Yes, our featured artist is with us, joining us at the Crack of Stupid in the UK, but it's very great to see him. And yeah,
So I missed the
who's
whole
Dom?
bison speech.
yeah, you missed the bison thing, but they're big and they're cool, and when you get really up close to them, they're even a lot bigger. They're
I'd
really,
imagine
really-
so.
Yeah, that's a
Imagine
big
so.
animal. So anyway,
Brenda,
we-
I thought you said you were going away. I distinctly remember you saying, "Oh, I won't be there. I'll be traveling."
like Brokeback Mountain, she just couldn't quit us.
She couldn't quit us.
But we did,
I am not buzzed enough to get into a debate about ranch dressing.
yeah.
Give me
Catch
give
him
me
in-
2 beers. Yeah, let
yeah.
me catch up. Let me catch up.
Yeah, catch him in 45 minutes, and we can have a fascinating ranch discussion.
Let me go get a straw.
Yeah, indeed.
So how's your week going? You.
It's wow, what a week.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with what I did yesterday. I mean, first thing off, I went to see the dentist. It wasn't bad because they're working on. I've got a tooth missing back here that they just couldn't save. So we're going through the process of getting an implant done. And gotta say, it's pretty high tech anymore. I mean, they've scanned my face and they've done 3D modeling, and so they're making the tooth that will eventually go in there and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. So that wasn't bad. But you recall that when you had the neck problem and you had to do the MRI,
Yeah.
and that was pretty tough for you. Took you, a couple
Yeah, I had to
shots
go
at it?
twice. Yeah.
Yeah. I spent an hour and 10 to 15 minutes in an MRI tube yesterday.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Just for your wow. They put that little clamp on your head that very much resembled getting electrocuted.
Yeah, pretty much. The good news is I'm a weird dude because it didn't bother me.
Surprise.
I actually fell asleep twice,
Okay.
and my snoring woke me up. Like, oh wait. But yeah, I laid in there, and I mean, it wasn't not like it was comfortable because man, when they were done, and I tried to get up off the table, man, was I stiff because that's a hard table. But my wife was getting worried because it was taking and I told her this is going to be a long scan.
Usually it's because the scanner sucks.
Yeah.
I remember one time I went and when you're getting scans because you had cancer, you become intimately familiar with the whole process,
Yep.
And one day the guy made me flip over so we could rescan. And I was like, why did you have to do that? What was wrong? What did you see? Blah, 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 blah. And I wound up like calling the surgeon in like a tizzy. And he's like, no, it's rookie scanners. Basically, when you're tracking the urinary tract, they tell them if they're having problems following, it's easier when they're on their stomach.
Yeah.
And I was like, that needs to be a friggin' an announcement, because that never happened in like 5 years. So I went into hysterics when
Yeah. Yeah, I was very fortunate because I had great techs. They knew their business, and they were running a little behind because the person ahead of me, they couldn't get the IV in. So I got in there and I said, guys, just so you know, I've been scanned before, so this will be easy for you, I hope. And they had the IV in me in literally 30 seconds, and we were off and running. And I told them to put on the classic rock Pandora station, and the only thing I hated about it is I didn't get it loud enough because, you put the earplugs in and then the headphones on. Like, I should have told them to turn it up louder, but
I mean, I've fallen asleep in MRIs. I mean, it's the laying down ones. The laying down ones, it's a breeze. It's the ones where you have to sit or stand,
yeah.
and then they say, don't move. Yet it's a lot easier not to move when you're laying down than when you're not.
Yeah, well, that was the thing for my implant. They did you stand there and it's one that rotates around you. It's open, basically.
Right.
And you do have to hold still, but it's not quite as critical. And this thing swirls around, and the technology was very cool. So anyway, here's the upshot is either I've got a tumor in my brain or behind my eye that's causing my vision problems, or it's nothing, and it's just precautionary. So, and I think it's just precautionary, and I will just be out several $1,000s.
Yeah.
But I won't have a brain tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
No, get to the chopper, because it's not a tumor.
I'm drinking Ulingard tonight.
Yeah, that was when I was in Pittsburgh on business.
It tastes like one of the oldest beers in America.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. As we know, I'm not a huge beer fan, but I think that one's particularly kind of kind of sludgy, kind of
Lackluster, yeah.
kind of not great. So yeah, that was yesterday. Today I spent all day on the phone with my various insurance companies because we're looking to, we're up for renewal, so we're shopping. And my insurance agent says, "Hey, I can't shop because you've got an open account on your roof."
Your roof?
And I went, "The roof I replaced a year ago? Yeah, we don't have the paperwork on that." I said, "You're a Safeco agent. You see it's closed." "Yeah, but I've got to have something from the roofing company." I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" So I had to go through all my stuff and find the paid invoice. And like, guys, and of course the auto claim is still open because they haven't collected the money from the woman that hit me. So today was insurance hell. Yesterday was medical hell.
My wife has to handle all the insurance type discussions because at some point the agent usually hangs up on me.
We divide and conquer. Kay does a lot of it, but
I get so irate. I'm not good with that.
Yeah. Well, she's just swamped at work, and
I'm not good with the placating, niceness that isn't nice at all.
Yeah.
It sends me in a friggin' torrent of explicitives.
I feel
But
you.
that's just me.
I sent because I ended up sending a snarky note to my agent because I got the stuff, and she goes, "Now that's great. Was this 2003 or 2004?" And I said, 2003 right there like it says on the invoice. Is there a question about that? Because I was kind of over the shit today. Mm-hmm. So I'm so glad tomorrow's Friday. And it's whiskey day. I can have a couple whiskeys.
Whiskey day.
Yeah. Man, it's been a week. The whole week has been like this. That was just the last 2 days. But that's adulting, right, folks?
Yeah. No, weeks are now like one day. So it's like week, Saturday, Sunday, and then week again.
Yeah.
That's how my weeks have been lately. It's not so bad. I mean, you get used to it. Like today, today's a whopper.
Whopper, huh?
A whopper. Wife went on the girls' weekend. So, and then she left me, okay, Danny's got practice, Jack's got scouts. Danny has a game on Friday. Danny has a game. I'm like, just put it, as long as she knows, like, don't tell me too much. Just before she leaves, tell me it's all in the calendar. As long as it's on the calendar with coordinates, because here in Yonkers, like, it's school 29. You got to go to school 32. And I'm like, I can't do that. So she drops a pin where I need to be. And
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? Hey, Coldacre, how are you? And good to see Wendy.
what's going on, Wendy? Coldacre?
Yeah,
everybody?
the calendar came this close to causing the show to be canceled tonight. Because we're supposed to be at a concert right now.
What concert?
It's Elevation Worship. And Kay had bought the tickets months and months ago. And we're discussing this afternoon how things are going. And she goes, bro, we're not going to the concert. It's just, I can't. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. Because I was so focused on the other stuff. And she wrote it on the wrong day of the calendar. I thought we were going tomorrow. So I'm like, didn't even give it a second thought. And then she's talking about it, and I'm like, was that today? And I looked at the tickets, and I went, oh, this is a problem.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
that
I'm
would be a
literally,
problem for me. That would be an issue for me too. It would be very hard for me to gear up, but I would just constantly. It says it's tomorrow. I'm thinking about it, even though I wouldn't have been thinking it at all. But yeah.
But crisis averted, because as I'm getting ready to get on and go, guys, we've had to cancel the show, blah, blah, blah. And then she called me and goes, dude, we're not going. Okay. I'm good with that. Because I wanted to go see the band, but I was not jazzed to drive downtown and pay $20 to park and blah, 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 blah.
The one thing I'm sometimes unhappy with entertainment when you're older is no one can afford a weekend, so everything's like on a weeknight. I'm like, oh, how like much I have to do during my day already. I can't possibly enjoy myself. The only way I can enjoy myself is by totally checking out. Like this. This is mindless. It's relaxing.
Well, there's 7 days a week, and a lot of shows were already on them, and we all just tried to find a place to be that other people weren't, and we didn't manage to do that very well.
It's impossible to do that now.
Yeah, it just is. Somebody's always streaming. And in case you're not, Pole Vault will come on and go, hey, I bought a widget at a garage sale, and talk to you about it for 3 hours. So,
Yeah, only the real big acts can pull a weekend concert now. Oop, we went for the same one.
Yeah, we both were the same one. And a lot of it, too, is because, they're in sports facilities, and those are prime time for the teams to play. And they are loath to give up their space on those, and that's the big reason.
Yeah.
So, I know the Avs are playing tonight, but clearly they got to be playing out of town if this concert is down there. So, there you go. Yeah, we figured it out because
I remember one time I took my wife it was a Friday night, so we got home like 5 o'clock. Babysitter came over like 5:30. We went out to have dinner. And then we went to go see Warren Hayes band at the Capitol Theater in Portchester.
Warren Hayes is awesome.
He's awesome, but he was like 45 minutes late. And my wife at one point, like, does this man realize we all have it was hysterical. She got so annoyed because he was very late. It was like it was brutal. Like,
my wife would be grumpy about that because, she's like Justine, a professional, works for a living, regular office hours. And on school nights, things during the week like that go later are a challenge. So
Yeah.
I get
no,
it.
100%. Yeah. No, it's a lot.
Idiot like me, I'm up all the time anyway, so it's like, whatever. But
There's a big difference between being up. Like, I'm up late all the time. But there's a big difference being up late in your own house and being out late.
that is true.
away. It's like, ooh.
But if I'm out, I'm doing something, I'm okay with it. But you're right. There, when the game ends or whatever, and then it's like, okay, now I got to drive us home for 45 minutes. And
I can say we've done anything that required us to be out, like past midnight, and maybe like 10 years. We're in that that middle range of the evening now.
yeah, that's we don't pull a whole lot of late nighters. The only times we've done it in the last few years is again a concert or an Avalanche game or something like
Yeah,
that.
but even those, you generally home by like 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30, 12. The game that went into double overtime, it was
Yeah,
closer
me
to
and a
midnight,
wife
but-
haven't made it to many raves this last decade.
Yeah. Shocking how that works.
But we still have pacifiers and glow sticks. We just use them at home.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, we're the reminders that we're getting older because Kay is having to deal with going on Medicaid next year. Because we're hitting that. And I said, this was the downside when they didn't tell you when you got you a younger boy toy that, you would be on that. And I can't go with you for a couple of years. So, oopies. So we're trying to figure that out.
How much older is she than you?
About 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not much.
No, it isn't. But,
It's
for,
amazing.
for things
It's
like that, it
amazing.
makes a difference.
Yeah. It's amazing as you get older how much wider the span of
Yeah.
the age group gets. Like a 7 and 9 year old could barely be in the same room together.
Exactly.
Which I know because I have a 7 and 9.
A 9-year-old.
They're always freaking fighting. But
Yeah, these how that works. But yeah, it's there's
up, Pole
just enough difference. Hey, speak of the devil or the pole vault. Yeah, there's just enough difference between us that things like this. She'll go on, and as we found out, because our government is so helpful, because we're looking into it, and she could keep the insurance that we have and just sign up for Medicaid until she retires, and that would have been fine. Except the government is so helpful, they passed a regulation sometime in the Obamacare era that companies under 20 employees, screw you, nope, sorry, you're going to Medicare and there's nothing you can do about it. So,
my sister mainly took care of both my parents. And she became a professional at navigating all
You have to
those
be.
systems and was like, there should that is like an occupation in and of itself. Like
Yes.
someone to help you go through the process because it's daunting,
absolutely. Well, she's actually
Ian.
working with a broker. That's all he does.
Right. Okay.
And she knows this stuff as well. So, but
yeah, I
that's
do
what
not.
it takes. The government does not make it easy, ever.
No, but there's a lot of stuff you can get that you don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's additional supplements, and sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it isn't. Again, everybody's different. But yeah,
David went to go see Bob Dylan and he had a rest for 2 weeks. I can hear that. Yeah. I would definitely, I would definitely need to take some time off after like a major event like that.
yeah, I am very fortunate that I'm an energetic guy as a rule.
It has nothing to do with energy, I don't think. It's just
It does, because I can reset after, if I push myself like I've done the last 2 weeks.
No, I wouldn't say that. That's making it sound negative towards David.
No, not at all.
A lot of it is more of a mental thing. I get totally worn out and things like that. And I need lots of solitude to reset. Has nothing to do with energy levels.
Well, no, that it's. Let me be more
You were
succinct on this.
posturing. You were posturing, Chris.
No, I'm a true extrovert in that being in situations with extra people energizes me, where that wears most people out. But again, I'm weird.
But what wears us out is not the physical; it is the mental. To
that's
me,
what I'm saying.
Being around like large groups, it feels like I am in a casino. Just constant noise, and then
That's
I
my
need
wife,
to-
so I completely understand it, Dom. I'm the opposite of that. I'm like, great, and I pull that energy in, whereas other people find that mostly draining. So I totally understand both sides of the spectrum. And yeah, it has nothing. You're right, nothing to do with physical. It's all mental, and there's nothing worse than mentally being tired. And I get. After that one convention, I was peopled out. I needed a day to just not talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. So, totally get it. Yeah. Yeah, see, our good friend the Dog Paw is in this, and he is navigating the gauntlet. And, as we have an audience that
I'll have
skews
my
older.
sister call you.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
I mean, she was brilliant. She
well,
was
that's the
good,
thing.
and she-
That's,
She
you're
was
not
finding
there.
all kinds of benefits and stuff like that. Only because she knows if she didn't, her and I would just have to pay for it anyway. So, so she took one for the team.
Yeah, well, that's very cool to have somebody that does that. That's what my mother's been doing, is taking one for the team, and she buried her sister this last week, and she's working with the bank and settling the estate and all of that stuff, which is super time consuming and draining, and so. And she's the youngest out of the family. And this tells you a little something about our family's longevity. She's the baby of the family, and she's 85. So. Mm-hmm. And it just,
Them live long lanes.
yeah, and it's funny that she's the baby, and the only other sibling that's still alive is the oldest brother, who's 95. So. Those kids in between in those 10 years, they're not with us anymore.
Tara Grosses rarely make it out of the 80s.
Well, I'm planning to, as long as I don't do anything dumb. Or, again, if I have a tumor.
I'll live longer if they straighten out all these subscription television channels.
I started going down that path, and I just put my foot down. I said to my wife, I'm not doing this horse shit. You know what? If you've decided that the DirecTV is too expensive, I'll turn the son of a bitch off and we get nothing. That's how we're going to handle this. So it's this or nothing. Make your choice. Because I looked into it, and the combined cost would have been more than I'm paying now, and I would have had more remotes and all the horse shit. And I'm just, no way.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we cut cable because of the price, and I do believe we've crossed over and are again paying more than we were paying with cable. I predict that cable will come back, and people are like, just give me a package and I'll watch what this
The initial premise, yeah. Give me a
because
package.
that's what they're all doing now anyway.
Exactly.
All these streaming sites that were, commercial free ain't so commercial free anymore. And they're all grouping. Now you pay this and you get Disney and you get all that shit that you didn't want before. But and I'm starting to now I'm starting to get used to commercials again on some of them, because I remember when I was a young man, I could spend like an afternoon hungover and clean my house in like the 2 minutes every commercial break show, and I would just do some dishes, come back. So I'm starting to do that again. It's actually fun.
Yeah, well, I watch so little TV anymore. I watch even less. Now, I'll be watching more with hockey season on, but same deal, in between periods, vacuuming, kitchen gets cleaned, all that.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
20 minutes.
Like different things. Like, know what I bought myself? I bought myself the complete, not the DVDs, but all the online versions of Modern Marvels, like 23 seasons of it. It's like one of my favorite shows, especially to work around my house. Because you don't have to sit down; you just listen. Every once in a while, you walk past your screen, go, "Oh yeah, oh I love that show."
I didn't know that. I didn't know they had it all pulled together. Well, I want it.
Yeah, I mean it's like $144, I think, something like that. But I love the show.
My favorite.
I loved it until they started getting desperate for viewers and the deadliest this, the the worst building disasters.
Yeah, those things are all trash. I don't watch any of those.
The Fire Stick.
Yeah, I bet you like that Fire Stick,
She
Wendy.
likes the Fire Stick.
No doubt. Because you can't ride a pig all the time. Sometimes you got to do the Fire Stick.
My kids are trying to convince me to let them watch Deadpool Wolverine this weekend.
We're going to rent it this weekend. We're going to have them.
I accidentally let them watch Deadpool.
Oh, no.
My God.
Deadpool is awesome, but those kids are little young for that one.
Their first boobies, and they went like this.
Oh, yeah. Man.
It was actually kind of funny. But the
We
amount
all remember our first boobies, don't we?
Well, mine was a catalog. Sears catalog. I think that's a nipple. I'll be right back. The amount of F-bombs in Deadpool, I had no friggin' idea.
Yeah, well, it goes past us unless you have that filter of, someone there, and then you go, oh, I didn't notice all that. But yeah, those movies are great, but they're not exactly kids' movies.
No. They're not. My wife got very good. And I told the kids. I told them too. I was like, listen, don't tell your mother. She called like that night, first fucking words out of her mouth. Dad, let us watch Deadpool.
You need to have a talk with those gentlemen and go, snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
I did you a favor and you sold me out, you little pricks. And guess who's going to be raking leaves until they're dead? You two.
No, me. Actually, Juan, my landscaper.
I wonder what happened to Juan. He's working for you now?
Yeah. Ever since he got kicked out of college, he moved to Yonkers and has a little landscape.
Hard-working guy. I mean, good dude. But
yeah, he knows his stuff.
Yeah, I wondered what happened. Yeah, that whole crew. Lost Truck with Juan and the professor and all those guys. Speaking of which, I've got a new segment for the show.
Really?
Remember, what was it, 3 weeks ago?
One of those segments that we're going to talk about and never do, or one that we're actually
No, we're actually doing it. I'm just but remember a couple weeks ago where we got on the butt plug thing based on what Temu sent me and said it was a collectible, or I can't remember what Well, here's what Temu sent me today. It just pops up. So, cute vegetable models. And I'm sure, Granny's collecting that and going, look at my cucumber that I got from Temu. Isn't this wonderful? Sure is, Granny. But not to be outdone.
All I can say, Chris, Temu sends me like guitar picks.
Oh, I get all that too. But
I get quite, the acoustic panels. I've never gotten anything remotely close to that.
Look, I get misgendered in real life frequently, and apparently on YouTube too, or Facebook, because I'm getting guitars.
Can you take that down now? It's like right next to my face.
Yeah, and it's pointing your direction. Yeah, don't bend over, Don. Yeah, and then I got this one too, and this was from our friends at Facebook. So enjoy the exciting world of fantasy with BoFi AI, so you can make a girlfriend. And So there you go. Create an AI girlfriend. And I'm thinking, is that what the girlfriend would look like if we were creating AI girlfriends? I kind of wonder about that. So that was just in today's inbox. So the crap I get. I get a lot of other stuff, but none of it's funny. Those two amused me.
Very interesting. Boobies. Wendy says boobies.
Yeah, I would like to get more boobies. I don't get enough boobies. I get a few, but not as many as I would like. Just got to be honest with you.
That should be you should run for mayor of Denver. What's your platform? What do you stand for? Boobies. Thank you.
Yeah, in the city of Denver, I don't know that would get me the vote.
Probably not really get you to vote anywhere, but
Certain places.
I
think
bet
so.
you have a little cult following. It's just you wouldn't want to actually meet them.
Yeah, you just don't know. Okay. Yep. Heavy the Metal movie was a great movie and a great soundtrack. Yeah, see? Exactly. These kids will never know, learning about exotic places in the world by National Geographic.
At least National Geographic sets you up for a more realistic view.
Yes.
They ain't perfect, but they're the ones you can see. I'll take them.
Yeah. Well, that's that comedian Ron White. He goes, yeah, you can go to a biker bar and some old chick with her, boobs hanging down about her waist. Want to see these? Yeah, I do. That's just a guy thing. We don't care. Boobies are good. Yeah, in general terms, we would agree with that.
They're all good stuff. They're all good stuff. There's
That's right.
No such thing as a bad boobie.
I've never seen a bad one. They may exist, but I've never seen one. And I'm willing to keep looking. Just saying. Mm-hmm. Fritz the Cat. I remember Fritz the Cat. That was
the cat. The name
Ralph
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was a cartoon. It was an adult cartoon. It was really cutting edge. What was that, Camila? About 75, 78, somewhere in there. Maybe a little earlier than that. But yeah, that was really cutting edge at the time. Yeah. I remember that.
3 Dot Dave, we're not talking about past careers right now.
That's right. Yeah, what you do for a living, that's fine with
exactly.
us. That's cool.
Whatever pays the bills, my friend.
We don't judge. That's right. That's right. And, a little bit in the Sears catalog, just, still at that time frame, still had some of those bullet bras that were kind of intriguing. Right?
The cone,
Yeah, the cone.
the James Bond cone boob. Watch that.
Oh, my goodness. Yep. Yeah, time marches on, right? Now, currently, okay, here we go, because the dog paw, been there, done that. Yeah. I'm sure there's no fun stories. Because that was actual work. I mean, post-production is, and I don't know if that means that you had to clean up the stains or,
That's what I'm thinking.
she ran them up with the best of them.
Change the sheets. Like they change the sheets.
You know what? I have not seen. In fairness, I haven't been on basically nothing this week. So he could have been around and I just missed him. So I know I saw him Saturday. Trying to think of shows. I wasn't on anywhere Monday. Tuesday, I was on Dom's was Weeks and Years stream for a minute?
I'm not sure.
It seems like maybe he stopped in Dom's for a minute.
I think towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, but that would have been the last that we saw John. So yeah, you should send him an email or something. I bet he does. Like, you look good in this, baby. Yeah.
I'm not a Victoria's Secret guy.
I mean, it was fine up until
I've
they
tried out everything on. I just don't
just
look it up.
not for you. Yeah,
It's too frilly.
yeah, exactly. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah. T-shirt and drawers, I'm fine.
Yeah, I think we're all down to save the boobies.
There you
Okay,
go.
there we go. There was a John Wiggs sighting last night. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Good. Yeah, because he
Speaking
was
of-
not feeling well, so
No.
it's good.
Speaking of Mr. Smith, have we played Mr. Smith?
Of course, we opened with a wonderful Mr. Smith song, but I have another one queued up and ready to rock right flippin' now.
Invisible beer. It's Wonder Woman beer.
Wonder Woman beer. All right. This one I really enjoy because he combined his track with a speech from Paul Harvey that was really outstanding. This is a Mr. Smith composition, If I Were the Devil.
If I were the devil. If I were the devil. If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. Thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of the serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion. And deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want it until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. What'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed, with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Wow. That one hit hard the first time I saw that one again. And you know, when I was a kid growing up, Paul Harvey was on most of the radio stations, and you know, he always had interesting. So I love the rest of the story, and I vaguely remember that from when I was a kid, and you know, thinking, of course, I didn't understand some of the stuff, but wow, hard hitting stuff and great. I mean, that is a great track, Mr. Smith.
Hills, yeah. Hey, Pendar.
So yeah, we've got some new folks. Pendar has joined us. Pole Vault joined us here recently. Good to see you, Pole. And everybody there was one comment there that I highlighted for a second because it was too funny. As our good friend Pole Vault. I'm like, that's not going to fit you. And our friend Robin M. is
What's going
sipping
on,
a little
Robin?
wine and
It's the 19 crimes.
and reminding us that Madonna
Yes.
popularized that.
She's
I-
straightening out, yeah. Madonna gets credit for the blue bra.
This will be to the surprise of no one, but I don't always say the proper, appropriate things. And when I was working in the corporate world, we were having some kind of get together, and there was like the little birthday party hats. And and I think she was maybe even human resources, but I thought she had a good sense of humor. So, you know, I picked up two of them and I put them on my chest and I go, hey, we can go as Halloween as Madonna. Luckily, she laughed her ass off. But later I thought, you know, in a corporation like this, that shit will get you fired. So maybe not be so funny going forward.
You've always worked for train companies, right? There's a lot of women there.
Well, remember, I spent a couple years working in professional development. I put on professional development energy conferences. So I had a suit and tie and did that and everything. And I hated that job.
I do not like suit and tie jobs.
Yeah, it was, well, that was the one that after 2 years, my wife said, I want you to go down there and quit tomorrow. You're miserable. The money's nice, but dude, this is not you. And so then I went back to doing choo-choo stuff full time.
The chew. That's what they call it, the chew.
The chew, indeed.
The white pointy hats, Paul Vault. What hats you talking about?
Yeah, I know which hats he's talking about, and we're not going to talk about those hats.
Quiet moment.
Yeah, well, I'm
It's a moment
catching
of
up on chat.
reflection. It's a moment of reflection.
I'm just seeing what I want to highlight. And, you know, the obvious thing that needs to be highlighted is, you know, things from our friend Pendar.
Yeah, a true artiste.
Artiste, there you go.
Took it 12 hours to figure that out.
That's right. Yeah, indeed. Good to see Pendar. John is on his way. Okay, well, good. I'm hoping he's feeling better. God, he has been sick for 2 weeks. That's
Yeah.
a nasty, nasty cold.
Well, what I like, John is a man's man, because one night he was like, I forget, we were like, oh, was it COVID? And he was like, well, I don't know. So he never went to a doctor. He just fucking grinned his teeth.
Yeah. Well,
Got
and
through it.
I definitely, I can see that. I mean, because, unless you're have a high fever or struggling to breathe, they're just going to smack you on the butt and tell you to go home anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I know.
And it's
My
just
wife
like-
was always like telling me, go to the doctor. I'm like, I'm not going to go to the doctor until I fucking quit smoking. Otherwise, it's just pointless. Everything, because you smoke, well, that's the reason for
That's
everything.
why you're,
And, they're probably right. They're
yes.
probably right. So,
Because as we know, smoking causes canker sores on the penis.
yes.
Obviously, causes everything.
Yeah.
Just silly. Yeah, that's it's always fun to talk to the medical guys like that. Yeah. It's COVID. It's always COVID. Yeah. It's a virus, and you treat it like any other virus. If you don't take lots of zinc, folks, and vitamin D, and I take Q-Certin too, you're putting yourself
What
at a
did you do?
disadvantage.
I bought B12 because of you.
Yeah, B12 is excellent to take too. But you want vitamin D and zinc because both of those keep viruses from replicating.
I just chew on pennies all day. Does that count?
No, because there's not as much zinc in there as there used to be.
Or is that a nickel?
Yeah, nickels might be zinc.
107.
Yeah. Pole vault was very lucky to survive that because that high of fever
that's-
in the adult is
yeah.
deadly.
Not so bad for a kid.
Kids can tolerate.
There
high
he is,
fevers.
John Wiggies.
We wanted to make sure you weren't dead.
No, it was the other way around, John Wiggs.
We were
We would
talking nice.
never talk trash about you
Yeah.
behind your back. But now that you are here, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Now we
How are
can-
you, Bob?
Yeah, that's our rule. We talk trash to your face and we say nothing but nice things behind your back.
Exactly. Isn't he
'em
just
guessing.
lovely? That's what Chris do. Yeah. That's John Wiggs. Oh.
Both. But as you should know, you can't get some of the things in the sufficient quantities through food. And I would love, actually, Pole Vault, to throw down our medical charts against one another because I will own you. My blood pressure, my cholesterol, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, but you're a cancer survivor, so you know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
You're damaged goods.
I am the healthiest
You
damaged
always
goods on
got
the
something
planet.
to prove, man.
That's right.
I'm gonna show my medical records against yours.
Do I have to
Chill-
whip it out and throw
chill.
it on the
You
table?
may look like the dude, but you ain't the dude. You are fucking a little too intense sometimes.
Yeah. You're right. I freely admit
'Cause
that.
it's whiskey night.
Yeah, because it's not whiskey night. It's whiskey night. It's like, hey, whatever. I love all of
No,
you
yeah,
guys.
tomorrow is whiskey night. Today's only
right.
Thursday.
No, tonight I'm just drinking coffee and dealing with insurance companies. So might be a little
I
tight.
had a cup of coffee at like 9:30, and I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be good." But I was smart, so I made my kids waffles, so I can
There you
just
go.
get up and heat it up for them before I go to work. Because the nanny's coming over tomorrow.
That'll be nice. I actually happen to agree with both of those. Those are supplements that, you have difficulty obtaining other ways in sufficient quantities.
I'm probably going to be doomed, because I know the dog park says some very pertinent information, and I have not a clue about half the things he's saying. I am so unhealthy. I'm completely an unhealthy person. Mind, body, and spirit. Just saying.
I work on
That's
all
why
those
I
things
get
all
along
the time.
good with Wendy. Because she's trash too. Cheers, Wendy.
Well, this is, again, reformed trash. I was an athlete, and then I ate my way into being a much bigger not athlete, and spent the last many number of years getting that back in balance and being a little bit better version of myself.
Dum, da, da, dum, dum, dum.
Dum.
Exactly.
There you go. She loves it, Trashy Dom. Guys should drink beer and ride pigs together.
I would totally do that.
I would, and I will be there to film
I
it
would
and cheer
totally
y'all
do that.
on.
Let's make that a YouTube live stream.
Wait a minute, what did I miss? What happened to Mr. Pickles?
Is that a pet name for something? I just want to know.
Yeah, no, that's Pole Vault's chicken.
Oh.
But it's actually Sunshine Archer's chicken. What happened to Mr. Pickles? Did the cat get Mr. Pickles? Yeah, I bet it wasn't
YouTube
Jeff.
trends.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they have chickens, and Sunshine was very attached to Mr. Pickles. Pole Vault, not so much. Pole Vault was looking to make Sunday dinner out of Mr. Pickles, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, yeah. We have a lot of birds of prey in my neighborhood. We have bald eagles in the reservoir, and we have a lot of falcons and hawks. And we went out in the front yard yesterday, and it looked like a hawk got one of the their pigeons by any other names, but they're doves. And there was dove feathers all over the front yard, so I think one of them got nailed in our yard.
I only have one good animal story. Baumholder, Germany, 1984. I blew up a wild boar with a law rocket when I was in the Army because it was chasing me.
You know what? Completely understand. Those
Things are
nasty.
fucking scary,
They'll
man. Yeah.
kill you.
Yeah. I had never really seen one before, like face to face. Yeah, it was terrifying.
No, they are nasty. Nasty, nasty.
But man, that thing, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it happens. Those hawks are, they're tough on cats
Damn
and dogs.
hawks. They're a menace, I tell you.
And the bunnies in my neighborhood. I came into my backyard, this was about 2 months ago, and there was a little baby bunny that was dead in the yard. And we don't have bunnies in the yard. They're in the neighborhood, but none in my yard. And this one was young, and there wasn't really a mark on it particularly. So I'm looking at it going, what happened? And my wife said, I bet a hawk grabbed it, dropped it. I think, you know what? That's probably exactly what happened. So, Mother
Terror from the
Nature.
skies. They call it terror from the skies.
Yep, exactly. Wild hogs do not
No,
joke.
they don't joke, man. Yeah, no, they don't.
Well,
I truly felt it was me or the hog. It was like very muddy field we were in, and I was trying to run. Everyone scattered, and this one was locked on to me.
Yeah.
And
Well, down in
combat
Texas,
rolled, and got in so much trouble. I think I got busted because it cost the government like $10,000 to pay for that pig. Because the farmer comes out of the you're doing that stuff very close to
yeah,
people.
it was me or the pig.
It
And
was me or the
Porky
pig.
Yeah, I totally get it. Well, down in Texas where Pole Vault is, it's open season. You can kill wild hogs with impunity because they're just totally out of control.
Key to the city.
Oh, absolutely. Nice. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have grouse. Now they're east of me, Robin, but I don't have grouse where I'm at. Got all the other ones because the reservoir is very close. Oh,
Okay,
That's
Ithaca
funny,
is
but-
by. I remember going there. It's like right over the Erie Canal. They have this beautiful like little bridge, and it's like they have this little sign from the original Erie Canal. I think. Is that only 4 hours? Let's hook up, Robin.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, 4-hour drive. It's only 2 hours if you pick a spot halfway.
Know any seedy motels midway? There's probably a
no.
lot. There's probably a lot because then you're
Right,
talking
yeah, well,
about
it's New York, so.
Orange. No. Oh, what are you saying? What are you saying?
Just saying, I suspect you have seedy hotels along
Yeah.
those kind of byways.
We do.
There you go. Wild turkeys are cool. Those are neat animals. God, they're smart and they're neat, and they'll f you up too if you're not.
Yeah, but I
careful.
tell you, if you only saw a wild turkey, you would not really want to eat turkey. Not an attractive looking animal,
Well, that's the thing. I
and
mean,
they're all really scrawny.
well, yeah, that's what real turkeys look
Yeah,
like, not those basically hormone injected Dolly Parton turkeys that
Those are the kind I like. Yeah,
well, they're delicious.
give me
but
them
yeah.
turkeys with the big rack. Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of turkey wearing.
Well, wild turkey is
Cone
delicious. It's gamier, but it is delicious. Here's trivia for you. Ben Franklin thought the eagle was a dirty bird.
Right,
He
he
thought
wanted
it was
the
a
turkey.
scavenger. He wanted the wild turkey as our state, but he got outvoted, and frankly, I'm glad he did.
Yeah, it's kind of a dumb bird.
Yeah. Well, the wild ones are pretty intelligent, but they're not majestic and soaring and like the
yeah,
eagle.
but it's just a dumb bird to pick to represent your country.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's going to be. No one
Why a
was
bird has
afraid
to
of a
represent us at all is beyond me.
because that's what you do. Mexico has both an eagle and a snake. They got double their animals.
Hey, don't Mitch.
Yeah, we've got
to
some
see
new
you.
folks joining us. We've got Mitch, and Emperism has joined us and is saying his hellos. Hello, 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 hello.
Greetings, one and all.
Yeah.
Used to be tough killing them turkeys.
Yeah, now that's an interesting choice of a weapon to hunt turkey with. I would have thought shotgun, but
Yeah. You got to be a pretty good shot with a.
that's
it.
yeah, because they're not huge birds. No, I prefer to sneak up on them with a 9mm and put two behind the ear, gangland style.
That turkey was killed execution style.
That's right. It was a hit, a hit on the turkey. That turkey's sleeping with the fishes now. Which I've got into this cartoon series. I have no idea what network it ran on, but it's a cartoon series called Forget About It.
Forget
And
about it.
Don, you would appreciate it. I mean, it's nothing but stereotypes of, the premise is an ex-wise guy from the Gambini family was a capo, and he had to rat everybody out because they were going to whack his uncle. And so they end up in Saskatchewan, Canada, under witness protection. And they make fun of Canadians and the Mounties and Scotsmen and Italians, and the show just cracks me up. I've been going through all the seasons.
You like to laugh at the Italian people, do you?
I like to
I do
laugh
all
at
the
the
time.
absurdity.
Yeah.
It's got that for me.
Well, like my wife pointed out one time, she's like, you're such a guinea, but the most un-guinea person I've ever met, because I like all the way they talk and eat and stuff like. But I'm the negative stereotypes.
No,
I try
absolutely
kind
not.
of thing.
Although I got to give you
Very
credit
unlike that.
for something. You told me about, the white undershirt, which you called
yeah.
the Italian dinner jacket.
Dinner jacket, yeah. Uh-huh.
I told that to my wife, and she spit her salad. She laughed so hard. It was going, oh my God, that's hilarious. I went, right?
And you can tell it's like because you get decorated, you would like, oh, look at all those medals, which would be spaghetti sauce stains, So I was like, "Oh, he's very decorated."
Yeah. See, that's what you. But yeah, that whole.
But they
That
all have
cracks
their,
me up.
all have the same, all the same
Absolutely.
thing. Everyone has a different name for it.
Yep. Exactly.
Italian dinner jacket. A
I
wife
love the
beater.
Italian dinner tray. The wife beater is nice, but yeah. All right, talking property now. Down in Texas, where the grass is sweet.
5 acres.
Nice, 5 acres and a mule. There you go. I thought you had found yourself a place, Dog Paw.
Yeah, I thought he was said it is.
Yeah.
Place.
Did the deal fall
Maybe
through?
he's
or-
looking again.
I don't know. If you want to buy a house in Evergreen,
No,
Colorado,
we found out the person selling was a vegetarian. It was like, I'll have nothing to do with
I'm
this
out.
place.
I can't buy land from someone who
The
doesn't
guy
eat
came
real
walking
food.
out like eating a bag of like, I don't know. something
Cheetos.
Unhealthy. Yeah, Cheetos.
Yeah,
It was like, ugh.
deals off. I cannot
have principles.
abide by this. Like, hey, if anybody,
You know what the funny thing is? That I could totally see him doing that.
that is, yes.
That would be very dog paw.
If anybody wants to live in a beautiful house in Evergreen, Colorado, my brother would love to sell you his house. Give me a call.
Does
we'll
he have a
talk.
listing? Is it
Oh, yeah.
listed?
He
Oh,
is
come on,
listed.
bring up his house. Let's look at his house.
Let me see.
There's something to do.
Yeah. Now, let's see if I can make this happen, Captain. Yeah, this may take me a minute.
Would you like to be a guest co-host one night? 3 Dot Dave.
Yeah, we got
Do that. We can do
3
that.
Dot Dave has a couple funny comments, so we're watching you, 3 Dot Dave.
Yeah.
You know, because we're always looking for people to supplement our guys with jokes.
Yeah.
You know, we have E. Urban,
We
who's
thought
fantastic.
we had John Wiggs, then went and got sick, and we're like, pussy.
Yeah, Wiggs, you know,
Can't hang.
tapped out on us a little bit.
E. Urban came in strong, and
Yeah.
and then Chad stole him.
Yeah, see how that is. Let's see. Is that my brother's house?
No, it's your brother's keeper.
No, I'm looking. Oh, I don't want to sign in. I just want to find the house.
Well, if it fell off twice in 6 months, at least it's not moving very well. So maybe
No, that's not his house. Kind of, the garage looked like his house, but it's not his house.
we told you, Wendy, you can come anytime, but wrong one. But we want you to jump on a trampoline the entire show.
Yeah, we want to test your cardio fitness
can you,
and endurance.
Can you like have ponytails and bobby socks? Then you can come on right now. I'll send you the trampoline.
think? No, that's not my brother's house either.
Oh, let's look at this one.
It's on the right street, but no, it's the right street, but it's not his house.
She'll ride a pig.
Okay, you know what? That is an acceptable substitute for the trampoline, I
Yeah,
think.
we'll take that too.
Well, this is fascinating entertainment. Well, we'll keep talking while I'm
And besides,
looking.
besides that, Southern Homegrown, you can come up anytime you want. You just have to turn the damn camera on. I'm not going to be
Yes,
sitting there
that's
talking
our
with
rule.
a picture of someone. Oh,
Yeah, you got to show your face. Anything else you want to show is up to you, but you
yeah,
got to show
that's
your face.
yeah. It won't be rejected, but we.
Yeah, that's not a requirement, but you got to see the face.
Chris showed me his boobs once.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Showed him mine. No, he's got a good rack.
Yeah, pretty good. Little fuzzy. certain places. But all right, well, I'm not seeing it. So
Okay.
I'll bring up my brother's house for next time. We'll actually find the listing and do it. But, yeah, there was one. So I wonder because there was a $2 million house. It's on his same street, but it's not his house. So, yeah. I don't know if you compete with that house or not. Yeah, you tease us like that, but pictures or didn't happen.
That's only because all the clothes are dirty.
Yeah, well, you
She's
know,
doing the wash.
the wash. Yeah, you got to do that wash.
Got to do the wash.
Yeah, real estate is fun. We looked at a couple places at Steamboat, but I checked my pants pocket and I didn't have $2 or $3 million in my pants.
There
especially
is
after eating out.
a place in Pennsylvania where we go shopping, and I want to move there, retire just for the name of the city, and it's called Dixon City. I'm like, oh my God, I want to be a fucking deputy in Dixon City. What a great name.
It's been now. How close is that to Intercourse, Pennsylvania?
Oh, very far.
Is it?
That's
a
very,
ways?
the Intercourse is very south, and that's in, it's much closer to Jersey.
Yeah, it's okay.
Lancaster. My wife
nice.
and I, we went there one time and we could not find Intercourse. I'm like, she was like, how do we ever have kids? We can't even find it.
The jokes write themselves, don't
I
they?
know. No, well, yeah, but it's, yeah. But
Yeah.
we probably drove past the stupid bridge a bunch of times.
Yeah, I've been to Lancaster, so I know the area. But yeah, I did not have Intercourse there either. Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing a Cobb County or a Coke County school bus. I've been there.
There you go.
A friend of mine lived in Newport, Tennessee, and I'm trying to think, Crawford. I think we've been to Crawford. A couple places.
I've been everywhere, man. I really have. I've been a lot of places in the U.S. I'm very fortunate that I got to travel a lot. Okay. We'll see, Wendy. Okay, there you go.
Okay, see, we have exit 69, Big Beaver Road. Oh, there's a Buttsville in New Jersey.
There's all
New
kinds
Jersey,
of fun.
Buttsville.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been not too far away. Are you the person I know? I've been there a few times. I don't
Okay.
exactly remember. I know I stayed in a hotel right next to a Waffle House, and I ate there 3 times a day.
Well, in the South, every hotel is by a Waffle House because,
Yeah, that's true.
a Waffle House on every corner. It's like Southern Starbucks.
I'd much rather go to a Waffle House than a Starbucks.
No question. Again, not a yuppie guy. I loathe Starbucks coffee. I
No, I don't
really
like it
dislike it. No, over roasted. I don't enjoy it.
No,
Now-
what I don't love about it is paying $6 for a stupid cup
Well,
of coffee.
there's that. Now,
And the people. Listen to
was-
someone not pronounce my name correctly. Or just leaving it there and, going from station to station. I'm here. Why do
Yeah.
I have to walk there? Can't you give me my coffee right here?
Dunkin' Donuts does.
I know.
Jerks. I'm with you. Coffee rent. Now, I drink every morning Seattle's Best, which used to be an independent company. Starbucks actually bought them 10 years ago, but they didn't screw with it, which I'm very grateful for because it's a lot cheaper than comparable Starbucks, and it tastes a lot better. Although they do have a dark roast that's very Starbucks-like that I don't care for.
Although Starbucks is iced coffee is very good because then you want a good dark coffee.
Yeah, well, because you've put all the other crap in it, all the sugar
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, I actually started making myself iced coffees occasionally this summer. 'Cause, I mean, what moron, when it's 96 degrees out, is drinking hot coffee? And the answer is this moron.
Yeah. It's like,
Occasionally, I'm like, just let the pot turn off, put a little ice in there, and let's have iced coffee.
yeah, you just never just make a pot and just fill it with ice and let it brew into it. That's
Yeah. Well, see, you're
Easy.
too kind, dog pie. Yeah, they burn it beyond recognition. Dental records can't help.
how many people are surprised Dog Pie has something negative to say about Starbucks?
Yeah, well,
Food conspiracy theorist.
yeah. But we happen to agree on that point. None of us are fans.
Well, we got. What the hell is this woman talking about?
People in your area need to get laid, I think, because they've got things on the brain. Just saying.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Too funny.
Well, we have had a convention. We're supposed to go back in 3 years in Hickory, North Carolina. I don't know if anything's left there. We're gonna have to see. But where the convention is in the convention center, which is down the road, and at the intersection there is an adult store, which, because I'm a smart ass, I've always referred to as the Dilda store. Yep, you're going up to the Dilda store and then hang a right, and you'll be right down there at the convention. And the organizers never thought that was funny, but it was good directions. Everybody
Did you
found the
put-
place, no problem,
Exactly, yeah.
because everybody knew where the Dilda store was, and a big old sign. Yeah, but it has to be pronounced correctly. It's Dildas down there in North Carolina.
Waffle House has the best coffee mugs. I took like 6 coffee mugs when I was there. My wife made me get rid of them.
I don't know what that is, but
Rainbow.
is that an adult video
No,
store?
they still rent movies in Tennessee.
Oh, okay, that's okay. No,
I don't know. Maybe either that or it's a dirty movie store
yeah, that's what I'm
called
thinking.
Rainbow. You can get pornography and every episode of Reading Rainbow.
That's right. LeVar Burton is like
He's standing like, exactly.
reading to you, going, "You
Excuse
dirty
me,
bastards."
LeVar. Excuse me, LeVar. I have to get behind the black curtain.
LeVar, read me Lady Chatterley's Lover, would you?
It's a Coke store. Is that what you're saying, Wendy?
Oh my goodness. There you go. See, we're culturally literate for old
Look,
people.
She got. It's funny who picks up on comments. Not
Yeah. Well, it's
Robin got all like, "Ooh, Reading Rainbow."
that was a great, concept and thing. He's a good dude.
Yeah, no,
There,
yeah.
and there you go. Exactly. Kids grew up with that. I mean, that was fantastic for getting people now. Yeah, I was in the store today. They've thrown all the high school kids out of the Walmart by my house because the kids were in there stealing the place blind. So you can't be in there unaccompanied. And these 2 young girls were behind me in checkout, and the cashier's going, "Guys, you can't be here." Signs and everything, and they're like, "Well, we just want to buy these
Just a
things."
sign.
And
I
that's the
would-
thing. And I'm like, they can't read. What do you expect?
But that's not even a thing. They have no right to kick them out. It's a public store. They
Absolutely
should all go
not.
there. They should all go there.
It's
Organize.
As we have learned now, it's a private store. They can do what they want. I got sick of paying more and more for food because the kids were stealing all the shit out of the store. So I'm okay with it.
I hate Walmart, man. Can't
Well,
stand it.
everybody else
Any of
went
those-
out of business.
Any of those big stores. Oh, they
Yeah.
drive me insane.
I'm not a fan, but what are you going to do? You got to buy groceries.
These huge ass parking lots. You can't even see the store.
Well, and that's why
they send
I like.
a little trolley to pick people up. Like it's an
Oh
amusement
yeah,
park.
those mega stores. I hate that. This is one of those neighborhood Walmart grocery stores, and those are tolerable. It used to be an Albertsons, but Albertsons went out of business, so they took over the space.
We're going to Dick's Sporting Goods this weekend. We got a new football. Do you have Dick's Sporting Goods?
Yes. Yeah, we have Dick's. I don't shop there. 'Cause
When I
it's-
told my kids we were going all day, they're like, Dad, are we going to Dick's this weekend? I'm like,
yeah,
"All right, guys.
Dick's it is. Yeah, I go to Big Five Sports. I don't like Dick's.
Speaking of which, I finally got my wife to notice it. Has anyone seen? It's a relatively big trucking company, and the name on the truck, and like, was there a corporate meeting? Did anyone discuss it? But the guy's name is, I guess the original owner was Arthur Dewey, and then he joined forces with Mr. Pyle, and now the name on the truck says a Dewey Pyle. You ever hear that company?
No, I've never seen
on
those
the
trucking.
East Coast, their trucks are everywhere.
Yeah, they
And
must be more of an
anytime
East Coast
I
company.
see one, I just crack up. Like, did anybody stop and think about this?
Yeah, there are times that you go, they didn't think this through.
I know. That's another prime example. Like, nobody in the corporate structure, like, I know you own the company, Richard, but really, do you think that's a good name?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There are some things that when you pronounce them, they don't come across well. And many times I'm listening to a radio ad or something in the background, and I'll go, that company's called what? Doesn't come across well.
No. We had a guy come over, and hopefully I'm not giving him business. I doubt it. We had a guy come over one time to give us an estimate on redoing our driveway. And he gave my wife his business card when he was leaving. And as he turned, my wife went like this. And she looked at me and she was like, she just shook her head. And then she turned the card around. And the name of his company was called Rock Hard Masonry. And she was like, no, we shan't be
Nope.
hiring them.
I mean, that's funny, but no. And yeah.
It's,
And Dom asked me to work on some logos for his company, and we kicked around a couple things. And again, we thought of several things that we thought were
we're very fun,
amusing and also completely unprofessional, and we're not doing those.
I'm going to
we had
bring the
fun.
fucking tomahawk chop back. That's going to be my logo.
Well, you know what? I don't know. That might be a little iffy, but that's not a bad symbol.
Yeah,
So,
it's ridiculous.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it amused us. Mm-hmm. But of course, as you guys know, you're here every week. Dom and I are easily amused.
It's like
It takes
ooh,
very little to go.
that's not a bad quality.
No.
It's not a bad thing.
If you can't laugh in this day and age, because as we started off the show talking about adulting, man, you got to laugh because life is not fun most of the time.
That's the beauty of it. My feeling is this. Anyone who says they love life isn't really trying hard enough. If you're only doing the things that make you happy, you're just kind of selling out. Like, life could be, for the most part, pretty miserable, and that's not necessarily so bad. Yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, I love my job, but I spent most of the
it's
day
an-
today
yeah.
writing a policy
it's
manual.
annoying. Yeah,
Like, that's not exactly playing with trains, but that's what I was doing today.
that would be that is what Chris does.
Yep.
Two things that were named very well were work and shit. They
Yes.
are what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's saying it's anything different.
Yeah, again, that was a questionable decision by Dick's. We're a sporting goods store, but we're not going to sell guns. Okay.
Oh, they
that's-
took out the hunting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in tech. That seems kind of dumb.
short-sighted and dumb?
I can see here in New York not having a hunting section, but
Well,
out in Texas.
unless it's in upstate New York.
True. Yeah. Not in Westchester. I doubt the dicks we go to on Saturday will have a
No,
rifle section.
again, makes sense. But yeah, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, yeah.
But like Dick's isn't like what's the other one? Bass.
Yeah, Bass Pro Shops.
Well, yeah, that's the huge. Like you can go.
Yeah,
there
that's
for like a weekend.
enormous. It's ridiculous. I've been in that store a couple times. It's like, yikes. It's like IKEA with camo.
Don't worry, Brenda. You can watch the replay. Please watch the replay, Brenda.
Please. We're desperate. And for those of you who are, in fact, right now watching the replay, thank you. We appreciate you. We know you watch, and we're grateful to all of our
that
guys
just
who catch
kinda-
it later.
That just kind of like freaked me out. I was like, Chris, we're live, and I was like, oh. Eventually, we won't be.
Well, yeah, it's like we weren't last
This
week.
guy's going places.
How about that?
So, Robin, how you been and where you been? Disappeared for a while.
Yeah, been around.
That's not a nice thing to say. I'm sure she has, but still not nice to say.
Well, again, we it should be noted that we note when we don't see people for a little bit. We
I was
did a
gonna, you know what?
wellness check on John Wiggs. So
I'm glad you said that, Dog Park, because I was gonna ask when Chris said it. What is adulting?
yeah, again, because I have two millennial, I'm familiar with the term. So yeah, that's what they do. It's like it's hard. Adulting is hard. Well, yeah,
Oh, like okay, acting like a mature, responsible person.
yeah,
is like
paying
a
your
hobby.
bills.
I got you,
Not
yeah.
being late, showing up to work on time. Hard things like that. Yeah, here's the.
Well,
what is
get
it?
work on time does kind of blow on. I'll give
It
it. that.
does. I get. Yeah, there was I read a statistic. This last college class that graduated, the Gen Z folks, most of them have already lost their jobs because they don't know how to work. And I don't know who to blame for that, but
All of the young people are looking at our show going, yeah, this is why we fucking hate all the people.
well,
They're so judgmental.
yeah, we hate you back. No, I mean, again, I realize how fortunate I am because, my kids are both millennials and they
I
have some of
just
those
see-
millennial ideas, but they both have tremendous work ethic. And thank goodness they picked that up.
You know what I find amusing though? So is every generation has had its thing that
Oh, yeah.
all generations after just mocked or made fun of. And yet we've all existed the exact same way for a really long time. So apparently it really don't mean shit,
It's just one of those
until
things.
now because they are ruining our world.
Yeah. That's right. Well, and of course,
All their ideas and
they blame us for that. It's like, look at the world you left us. Well,
I mean, it's
You
totally
can fix it.
us.
yeah,
It's totally us.
good luck.
Between boomers and Gen X, yeah, we fucked up everything. You're welcome.
Good luck, bro.
Exactly.
They're not wrong.
Yeah, just wanted to give you a little challenge. We know you can do it. You can fix this.
We believe in you.
I'm just going to collect my pension now and
That's right.
piss
Well,
myself.
maybe.
Funny.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Cork. Going to the Cork store.
Oh, still on the cork talk. Yeah, if we were in a serious New York stream, we'd say, "Yeah,
that
we
would
still
be a
talking
Dennis-
the
that
cork talk."
No, that would be a Boston thing.
Yeah, more
a
Boston. That's
Dennis
more
Leary.
Laurie.
That's a Dennis Leary bit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm
Dennis Leary
getting
I
the
like a
low
lot.
Wi-Fi. That's coming back. I used to like him a lot. Then he became a real douche. Like
Yeah.
everyone. Like
Yeah.
everyone does.
Well, everybody gets famous, and as a matter of fact, now that you mention, I haven't seen him in ages.
I wouldn't actually say Dennis Leary was ever famous. He was known.
Known, well, famous, known, whatever.
I mean, he's not like Chip and Dom famous.
No, I mean, come on, get out of here. I mean, he was on Saturday Night Live. What an idiot!
I had to hire a bodyguard, just in case.
Yeah, no, I'm still on a budget. I'm my own bodyguard, so. And I take the money out of my right pocket, put it in my left pocket, and say thank you.
I'm telling you, Alaskan Thunderfuck. It's good stuff.
It could be terrible, but that name is amazing.
I saved the box because I would just like, you want the one that makes you mellow or the one that makes you feel good. Give me the good feeling one. And I got it home and I looked at it for a second. I was like, no way. It's called Alaskan Thunderfuck. And yeah, it's good. It's very fruity. But,
I mean, I'm so tempted to go into a hippie bit right now. You have no idea. Yeah. Alaska Thunderfuck, boom, it'll get you. It's a little fruity, but it also tastes like meat. Boom.
Is that where you had to disappear? Are you and your sister going to Victoria's Secret tomorrow, Brenda? Because that we like to talk about.
Is there? I'm trying to think. Is there? I mean, I assume there's still a retail Victoria's Secret someplace.
Brenda, is your sister watching the happy hour with you? Or are you both sitting there drinking bourbon, catching up, and Chris and I are on someone's phone? Because if you are, hello, Brenda's sister.
Hi.
We're her friends.
Yeah, that's right. She needs better friends, but it is what it is.
Oh, we're fine friends, please.
Yeah,
you can't find better than us.
We're pretty decent. Well, you can, but
Yeah.
you might have to look for 10, 15 minutes.
Actually, that's one of the good things about friends, because the people who would be our friends, I'm like, yeah, they gotta be my kind of person, because I would not be my friend.
Exactly so.
Oh, she went to bed? I guess she's the older sister. You're the young, hip one.
But she was LOL, and that's as long as she was LOL.
As long as she was LOL. Everyone LOL.
Yes.
I've never laughed so much as I have since I started typing on the computer. It's all smiley faces. I almost never smile.
I seldom laugh out loud, but when I do, LOL, it's on the computer. Well, that is true.
We are very crazy.
Your sister is discerning.
We're just a couple of wild and crazy guys.
That bit used to break me up.
That was funny.
This was a long time ago when Saturday Night Live was funny. And I saw that it's their 50th anniversary this year. I'm like, that piece of shit is still on the air.
I know.
Somebody please shoot it and put it out of its misery.
Yeah, I'm smiling now because I'm really not doing anything. Like, I'm just, like, relaxing. So, I have a dumb smile on it. Even, like, I have one of those, like, non-committal smiles. Unless I'm laughing.
Yes, let's all put on our smiley face. All right. Enough of that shit.
You look like a person who practices smiling. Has anyone ever looked in the mirror at themselves to see how they smile? I have never done that.
Can't say that I have.
There's got to be people here who have practiced facial expressions in the mirror.
Yeah, I imagine anybody that's done any kind of acting would have done it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of actors hanging out with us this evening. A lot of B-movie stars.
Hey, Southern. There you go.
Ugh. It looked like an iguana.
Yeah.
It's not a very attractive thing, Chris.
No, it is not.
If that's your move, No wonder why your wife lets you live stream all night.
That's right. Yeah.
I'll just watch a movie.
Take that gross tongue and go hang out with Dom. Yes, dear. Saturday Night Live used to be funny. I loved it too, man.
You know what it is? It's still kind of funny. My wife and I still often watch it. Never live, but on Hulu. But you really have to give time to adjust to a new cast. Once
Yeah,
you're
and I'm
used to
fine
one,
with that.
it takes
I
a
get
while.
that. Yeah, and there's been intermittent periods that were pretty funny. And there's been some very funny people on there who weren't necessarily great on the show, but they were still very funny. But like I get the feed. YouTube will probably and or Facebook, because I watch a lot of comedy, so it will feed me sketches. And anytime it feeds me a sketch from the last 5 years, I watch it and I go, sorry, not funny. I did not enjoy this. But they'll send me an old one like Belushi doing the Killer Bees or something, and I'm rolling on the floor.
Am I eating my nails? I'm sorry, I'm just a nervous thing. I'm not eating them, I'm just going like this. It's either that or no, never mind. I will stop. What was I going to say? When we watched relatively, like, I guess this season, it was like one night, it was like the dark episode, and they left fielded all these, and it was hysterical. But, you know.
Well, they did feed me the one, and I think it was from last week, and it was Dana Carvey, who
Did you
I've
just
always
say
thought funny.
they did feed me?
No, they fed me on, a
You are
video
so
from
hip in your feed.
Yeah,
Which
I guess
one? Oh, Dana Carvey. Yeah, that was recent.
But yeah, he was. I think it was last week, and he was on with Maya Rudolph, who I also used to think was really funny. And they were doing Biden and Kamala Harris, and I was like, okay, but they're not on the show. They came back and guested this bit,
Yeah.
and it was funny, and then it made me think, well, why can't the current cast members do this, or why aren't they funny? They had to bring in old ringers from the back in the day to.
I think it's just something that they do.
Yeah.
Well, like they have they have one guy who does Trump, and he's actually hysterical doing Trump. Like
I think I've seen him once and twice,
Alec
and that is a pretty
Baldwin
good Trump.
did it for a while.
Baldwin
and
sucked.
It was
He
terrible
not.
because you can tell how much he hated Trump, and he couldn't keep it out of his humor. And I don't particularly like the man either, but I want to be entertained. And I don't want your point of view. Just you're a fucking
Exactly.
actor.
You're an actor.
You're a monkey. Do your monkey stuff and let me laugh. And he was
Also,
just
he's
so-
not great with firearms.
No, he's or he's exceptional.
Well, it depends on your viewpoint. Yeah, it went off accidentally. Hated that bitch. All right. That is a horrible segue to Mr. Smith. We must come up with something a little better than that.
Let's talk about space, and then you can play Gravity.
Yeah. Well, it
Oh,
was.
his music can take it.
I think it
music
can.
can
And
push
this one is one of my particular favorites. I really like this one because it is one, and this is a little bit older, but I just love the chord structure and I love the way this song moves. I like a lot of Schmitty's music, but this one is one of my particular favorites. This is Gambling Man.
If I was a gambling man and I bet on you, would I lose? Would I lose? If I was a running man and I ran a race for you, would I win? Would I win? was a righteous man and said my prayers for you, they come true, would I lose? If I was a braver man and asked to be with you, what would you choose? Would I lose? Would you ever let me hold you, keep you warm when nights are cold? Would you balance up my scales or be the fish that I have caught? Will you always be alone to live your life upon a shelf or gamble your hopes on me? If I was a music man and wrote a song for you, would you be moved? Or would I lose? If I had an artist's hands and drew the sun for you, would you choose the moon? Or would I lose? If I was a wealthy man and gave it up for you, would I lose? Would I lose? If I was an open man and chose to let you in, would I win? Would I win? Would you ever let me hold you, keep you warm when nights are cold? Would you balance up my scales or be the fish that I have caught? Will you always be alone to live your life upon a shelf or gamble your hopes? Would you gamble your hopes on me?
And we're back. That was Mr. Smith with Gambling Man. Fantastic song from him. Again, just a big fan of Mr. Smith's music. And I don't know if you guys have seen, of course, Mr. Smith is not streaming quite as much as he was because he's rearranging his studio. He's repainting it. He's doing some updates. But he and Valerie have been getting together, Valerie Bott, and doing shows on Friday nights. And last week's was a whole segment on songwriting and producing. Mr. Smith had produced Valerie Bott's latest Silence video. And if you haven't seen that, I urge you to go check it out. It's really, the song is great and the video is fantastic. Valerie, I was very impressed with what was done on that. And the two of them got together and they kicked ideas back and forth, and they talked about how they kicked ideas back and forth and what it's like to collaborate and how they didn't see eye to eye on certain things. And, but the mindset of making it the best for the song. It's a shame Dom is not here for this because Dom would have some input on this. Dom and I have collaborated a couple times, and if Hugh Caldwell is here, Hugh knows he got to watch Dom and I go at it like cats and dogs because we're both strong, opinionated people when it comes to music. But it was all about making the song the best thing possible, and we achieved that. And certainly Mr. Smith and Valerie did with this one. But and I don't think they're going this Friday. I think they're doing it on an every other week basis. But if you haven't seen that show and I know there's so many great things to watch on Friday, but check out Mr. Smith and Valerie Bott on Fridays when they do the show because it is a great stream and it's really informative.
It's a good show. That new song they did together was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. That song was fantastic. And, it was interesting to listen to them and how they collaborated on it. And they didn't see eye to eye on some certain things. Sound familiar, Dom?
Yeah. That's just the nature of
correct.
The person who writes the song takes a while to accept someone else's vision. That's why if I ever did it, like I briefly talked about it with Smith one time, and I'd probably still like to just send him like an acoustic part and a vocal, and say nothing else about
I'm
it,
out. Do with yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, and that was funny because Valerie, and again, as the song creator, you have something in your mind and you kind of see it that way. And an outside set of ears just goes, okay, I can see that, but here I'm hearing different things. And it's sometimes a little hard for the song originator to, and Valerie put it great. She goes, I got a little butt hurt. But, once I got over my butt hurt, then I understood that this was to make the song better, to hear it in a different way. And that's when that happens in a collaboration, the result is always much better than the sum of the parts.
Oh, I just spelled that wrong. That is why bands are better than solo artists.
Agree.
Because the worst thing about being a solo artist is you get in your own way and you can't hear everything. You don't hear everything correctly all the time, You hear it the way you hear it. And you're not, it's maybe what you like, but I don't know how to, I'll freely admit it, I only know how to make the kind of song I can make, and I can only make it sound the way I know how to make it. I can't make it sound different. But other people have the ability to hear what you do and put it in a different context that you have no concept of.
Absolutely. And that's, of course, why the role of a producer and
Yeah,
even
well,
sometimes an
yeah.
engineer.
Well, you have to, as like, I've listened to a lot of Smith songs, and I can say, even if some aren't my particular style, I like the way he does them, so I would feel comfortable with saying, yeah, take it. Other people, maybe not so.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that was like the funnest thing with me and Naya, especially with, the only songs we did is pretty much she just let me do whatever I wanted to do on top of the song. And it was in a lot of ways liberating because I don't have to take myself into consideration, So then I just tried to think about what would really make the song sound well,
Yeah, exactly. It puts you in a different space because it's not about you. I've had that experience working with Nia. It was wonderful. I'm leaving Mr. Smith's comment highlighted because that's perfect. Headstrong. The originator of the song should be headstrong. They should feel powerful about what they did and believe in it. If you have an artist that, as a producer or somebody as a collaborator, you can just push around, that might indicate they don't believe in their own music, and that I don't think that's good. So you want somebody who really believes in what they're doing, believes in their view, but is willing to say, okay, is
gotta
there
be
another
able to
way
step
we can
back,
look
yeah.
at this? Can this sound better? Is there something that I haven't considered? And I think that's a great way to go.
Anyone who's collaborated with me on my own song, they have to step back from me. I'm a terrible processor, and I'm maybe not the nicest processor, but it takes me time to process things away from what I think. But I always get there in the end.
Well, and I think that's true of everybody. I think you do have to
No,
step
I've met
back.
plenty of people who cannot
Oh.
at all. I've definitely met a bunch of people who cannot at all envision anything other
Oh,
than
well,
what they think.
No, I imagine that's true. Yeah, but I definitely, when I have collaborated, and again, it kind of depends on who it is, but I think I'm able to step back and go, okay, you have a different idea, and occasionally I'll go, you know what, I see where you're going with that, but no, that's not how I hear it. And
Well, it's the other thing is the type of collaboration it is. Most collaborations are more of a collaborative effort and not a collaboration. Like, when
Yeah.
you're doing the covers, it's like it's all cool. But there's, pretty much, like when we did Ring of Fire. We just used the cheater thing. And basically, we just took a, one of those backing tracks and one by one started deleting out.
Yeah, we disassembled it basically.
Yeah, basically.
And used
disassembled and reconstructed. But we did it because it was the only way we can tie in Nayara Mine doing the vocal correctly.
Right.
So we needed something set. We
Had to have that.
follow. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
So I think when she sang to it, she sang to the actual backing track, and then we put everything else. Or no. First we did the music, then she sang first,
right.
and then
Yeah,
sent
we got the music
Yeah.
done and sent it to her. So then she was just singing over the top
Yeah,
of it.
and it always goes back to the banjo. One of the funniest things, I think. So I obviously had to do the guitar. And at one point I called Chris and I'm like, Chris, man, I think I'm going to have to cheat. And he's like, well, what's the matter? I'm like, I can't get the fucking guitar part. It's way too fast. I thought it would be easy and I just can't keep up. And Chris said, by chance, are you trying to play the banjo part too? And I went, there's a fucking banjo in this song.
And so I sent him the track with the banjo stripped out, and he goes, oh yeah, this guitar, I can do this, no problem.
All right. And then it's okay in a backing track if there's an instrument you can't play to then use the backing track. So
Yeah, and we ended up using a mix because you played
Right.
some guitar
Oh yeah,
parts,
that's right.
the banjo, but you played them on
I got
guitar.
a good chunk of it, like on the guitar. But yeah,
Yeah, there was only one part that we ended up using the actual the backing banjo track because you handled the rest of the stuff. Once you got them separated and go, oh, this is this part, this is this part. Got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was so angry because I'm like, you suck, you can't play that. Oh, it was destroying me. That's so funny.
Yeah.
But it's to get back to what I was saying, it's another thing. Like, so basically, I think the way the normal collaboration rules work is he who wrote it, or they whose idea it was, has ultimate and final say.
At some point, somebody has to be the captain of the ship. But by that same token, even as the originator, if you're going to collaborate, you have to be willing to accept that somebody else may have a better idea
Right.
or a different way of doing it, and you need to be open to that. Again, Mr. Smith, the hardest thing to convey, and people do take things personally. Egos get involved because it's, music is a very personal thing.
It's your heart, It's your heart.
Exactly.
It's hard when someone else says, you know what you feel? I think it could be better. I think, it's kind of, what? Yeah, that's...
And you have to step outside yourself a little bit to go,
But
okay.
generally, only the people who want to get better can suck it up and try it.
Well, that's it. If you're going to grow, you have to be okay with looking at different viewpoints and going, maybe this
Good
would
night,
make it
Brenda.
better.
Enjoy your journey with your sister tomorrow. Tell her we said good morning when she wakes up.
All right. Well, only if you get a corncob pipe to go with
Yeah.
it, because, you need to click a couple more of the stereotype boxes.
Exactly. Couple freckles and
Yeah. Yeah.
pigtails.
Punch out a front tooth if you don't mind.
Basically, we want you to be like from Hee Haw.
I used to love Hee Haw. I mean, it wasn't a
was
big
fun.
country music fan, but man, there were great musicians on that show.
Oh, yeah, they must have been so loaded. They were loaded.
Oh, back in the day,
doing blow behind the hay bale.
They were drinking actual moonshine, actual Mountain Dew.
So, Johnny, you feeling better? Are you fully recouped yet?
We're standing by, waiting.
Standing by. We can't do anything.
I will say, I mean, as sick as John was, when he showed up on G-Maze, he did a great job. He did, 4 songs or 3 songs and, sang them. He was smart. in that he didn't push it and he kept stuff that was, comfortably in his range. But he did a great job and he sounded terrific Saturday.
Oh, here's the Urban. Well, are you coughing because you smoke there, John Wiggs? Or is it a different cough? I hate when you smoke, when you're coughing so bad from an ailment that you can't smoke. Oh,
That's bad.
that's the fucking worst, man. I just want to get better so I can smoke. What's going on, Urban? And
Good to see
I was
you.
just reading, apparently when I said to Brenda, I hope you and your staff have fun tomorrow, I think they're together for not as pleasant a reason.
Oh, yeah, that may be. Yeah. I hadn't given that consideration because, my wife and her sister get together all the time, but they live, she's just across town a little ways. So, yeah. And you have to decide if this is live or if this is Memorex again here.
Oh, see,
because
they'll
you
never
don't-
trust this again.
Yeah, exactly. Or should they?
That's true. Brenda
was fun
has
to
a
do.
stray cat hair. No, I mean, Robin can't find a cat hair.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than that. If you have cats, which I do.
So she's burying Mama, then going to see Luke Bryant.
No. All right. Well, condolences, Brenda. You're not here anymore,
Yes.
but when and if you watch the replay, yeah, our condolences on the loss of your mother. Very sorry to hear that.
And if you don't watch the replay, we don't hold it against you. I don't watch our replay.
I watch parts of it always just to make sure, and our sound levels are much better tonight. We were a little off last week as far as the balance in a couple areas.
But it's because we weren't there.
Well, right, and we couldn't fix it.
Right. Yeah, that's the right. You can't really sound good practicing on StreamYard, but you could use it for songwriting because as long as it's not live,
Yeah,
Shelley, there's no delay.
yeah.
You can't use it live. and-
Yeah, the
and
latency is
practice.
tolerable. There's still some, but it's tolerable.
Like a person playing an instrument and a person singing can work on something on StreamYard. Won't sound good, but sound that's not important to that.
Yeah. And you could record it within that, and then you have a little roadmap for what you want to do. But yeah, if you're trying to do it live, forget about it. It just, because it pings to so
Forget
many
about
different. Forget about it. Yeah, not going to work live. And everybody tries it. And everybody fails miserably. It's just, even at the speed of electricity.
Well,
pinging
you
to too
can
many
you
places.
can basically you can solo over a 2-chord progression with like 2 guitars
And
That
get
will
away
generally
with
work.
it.
Yeah, that will generally work, but you couldn't go into a 3rd chord.
Yeah, for you. That's out the box.
Right? We did it on G-Man one night.
Yeah, and it was, and we listened to the playback. It's like, pretty good.
Well, it started, and then
Close.
everyone started doing something, and everyone.
Yeah,
But
well,
it was late. We were all hammered.
yeah, but nobody cared.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to have to, I haven't showed up to GMA under the influence in quite some time. And
Oh, I'll be on
that'll have to change at some point.
My hope is that I will pop up on every live this weekend since wife's not around. I don't have to give her a night.
Yeah.
It's usually it's my guilt. So it's one night if I stream, the next night I try not to and hang out with the missions.
Right. And I believe Indy's doing that flip-flop thing where the live people are going to play.
First or second. I'm hoping it's first this week.
It's second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
thought
think it's
last
chat
was
first. Well, maybe it was last week. I don't know. It seemed like last week was normal, but Who knows? Yeah, and we know Brenda obviously will not be.
Oh, why don't you go live, Wendy? Let's go live together. Let's do. We want to do it, and we'll
It's a
go
hot live stream date.
I'll wear my best flannel. But we could go on at Wendy Redbird's normal time. You know,
There's an
her
idea.
people. For her people.
Yes.
I was actually really looking forward to Brenda's stream tomorrow night. So I would go. Or
there
I would
you go.
definitely hang out with you like the whole time. Well, maybe not the whole time, but
Yeah, I'm going to try and make the rounds as much as possible tomorrow.
I must admit, I do have a lot of silly fun hanging out with Wendy, Brenda, and John Wiggs.
Well, I hung out with them the other night because they were testing emotes.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just, and I wanted to get some questions answered, and you and I got to talk. Because there's some things about that program I like a lot. There's one thing I don't like about it.
Wait, what program? Oh, she was trying a new screen.
Yeah, because, StreamYards is going to get stupid expensive even for what you and I are doing. They're going to jack our rate considerably. So,
I
wanted
guess
to
they
explore
realize everyone's
options.
using it.
Well, it's like
what is it now? 220?
yeah, it's going to
that-
go up
that
a
what
lot
is-
more.
Like to what? Double?
Yeah, it's damn near double.
Really? Damn
Yeah.
near double. That's quite steep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And it's not like the program has gotten significantly better during the time we've used it. They've made one or two improvements. They haven't particularly improved the sound or anything else. So
Well, that means that a whole lot more people will be learning how to do what's, like the one Axe uses that's free, right? Open.
yeah, OBS
whatever.
is free,
OBS,
and then
yeah.
but you have to
You have to know what you're doing.
you have to know what you're doing,
You can't
and
be just a schmuck and hit a live button.
and you need some other things to go on top
Right,
of it. It's not, it's tolerable as a standalone, but it needs some additional pieces that some of them are paid and some of them are free. But
I have to find out. Like, I actually wanted to talk to them. I want to talk to Hippie because my kid is dying to live game.
yeah,
So I wanted to see if I can figure out how to do it for him.
yeah, Hippie Boom knows how to do that. I've actually watched Hippie stream a couple times while he was gaming because
You want me to set it up? Is that what you're saying? I could do that and then send you as your guest. She's still here. I thought you went to bed, Brenda. What the hell are you still doing here? I still had some drink left.
All right. Well, again, in case you missed it, Brenda, our condolences on the loss of your mother. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out what Robin is quoting here. I guess that's a song, right? Is that your song or is that somebody else's song? But interesting lyrics.
I don't know. Maybe it's up for grabs. I don't. It's not one of mine. I think it's sitting here wishing all the cement floor, just wishing I had something you wore.
Yeah, intriguing.
Oh, okay. I'm trying, but sometimes requires such much extra.
Yeah, it's a whole other thing, and I think Hippie is set up for it, but I think it took him a while to figure out
Right.
some of the ins and outs of it. Oh yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, you got to have a video capture card to. Yeah, that's above my pay grade. I don't know any of that crap.
Yeah, I have no idea, and I don't want to. I forget I had to turn on his computer the other day, and oh my God, this kid is doing no protecting. There's like things popping up all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
It's, like, how every program is like, oh, you want me to set you up on, so we open every time. And, so a million things are auto starting. Like, man, that's, and I'm trying to explain to him, like, think about it this way. Is like, you want to play the game you want to play. You want it to run as fast as possible. Everything that opens is just taken a little away from it.
Yeah, taking that memory. And
you be the master of your domain. You
really a
open
good way to corrupt your startup disk is
Yeah.
if you're trying to auto start all that crap.
The computer is like $500. I'm, figuring like if it can last them a year, then we'll see about. Because I would, if like, even though he's young, I would probably like to find a place where, like, Dad funds it, but he goes someplace and they build his own computer.
Yeah.
I'd like him to learn how to do that.
But E-Urban's exactly correct. Before he's ready for a better computer, learn how to
Yeah.
take care of the one you have by that. I mean, that's basic stuff, but
Yeah.
even on the Mac, I have to go in and say, no, I don't need you to start when I start the machine. I'll turn you on when I need you.
Mm-hmm, right. No, but I have been showing him how to do that because he doesn't know. Nobody knows. That's why
You don't know until somebody
That's why
shows you.
That's why they do that shit because most people don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the first thing when we bought my wife the new one. We took it into our computer guy and said, okay, all the startup crap and all the shit that they load on there, get rid of all that crap. Don't want any of that. And, and it took him a day to wipe all that junk off because they load it with so much junkware.
Yeah, there is nothing on this computer except music stuff.
Yeah. As it should be. Speaking of music stuff, Smith is still here, and let's get another Smith going, shall we?
Oh, that is not teaching parents how to use technology is not a fun experience. You have my sympathy.
Yeah,
It's not fun.
indeed. All right, well, let's get a little...
Wait, hold on, Chris. Shelley has a question for you.
Okay.
It's time for questions to Chris. Okay, we're all waiting, Shelley.
You have the floor, madam.
If
Unless it's a
Joe's-
really long question, in which case, maybe we'll start the video. Yeah. We can't tell if she's typing or not. Yes, and yes, you can do that. You don't want to go live doing it, but you
Didn't
can.
we? Wait, hold on. Are
Yeah.
we not live now? Because didn't we have this like
We did.
answered your question? Like we had like a 20-minute conversation,
And
on
you
it, I think.
failed the
Where were you in
quiz.
making a sandwich? Were
Yeah,
you
she
in the
was out getting a
bathroom?
sandwich. But yes,
No soup for you.
check the replay. We went over all of that in great detail.
In great detail, and we specifically addressed you and brought up what you said. Like that was very.
So
But
we
the-
didn't
yeah.
ignore you, but you ignored us.
Where the hell were you?
We got you covered.
Oh, so silly.
Exactly.
We're only kidding, of course.
A perfect segue into a Mr. Smith song. It's never too late.
Matter
to
of fact,
pay attention
didn't
to
we
the stream.
didn't we start not being able to go to because we were talking about something really dumb? And
Yeah.
all right, let's go.
Round and round we go, where the loop stops, no one seems to know all the things we do, but we don't want to. When it's all just on repeat, you keep on walking the same streets. All the
That's Mr. Smith in conjunction with, I believe, Deedsville on that one, but, or Deeds. But yeah, that was Never Too Late, a great tune from Mr. Smith, as is all the Smiths. And I just put Mr. Smith's LinkedIn. If you're not subscribed to Mr. Smith, you're missing out, guys. Great drum. Tutorials is not exactly right, but great drum streams, great streams in conjunction with Valerie, his own music, things he's done with other people. Fantastic channel. So get over to Mr. Smith's and get some quality video and music from him. So we appreciate you, Mr. Smith. We appreciate you hanging out, and we very much appreciate you allowing us to play your music. Having great artists like you on the show just makes this show that much better, or at least tolerable. So, and I see that Dom. Hey, what you doing?
I was smoking a cigarette. That was a fast song.
Yeah, Mr. Smith has got, his music moves right along and it's right to the point. That's one of the things I really like about it. It's concise, it's succinct, it says, here's what it needs to say, got great melodies. I'm just a huge fan.
Yeah, and plus he's a very good producer.
Yes, excellent
Of
producer.
his own songs or other people's songs.
Yeah, no question. Very talented producer. And that is a talent. That's separate from being a great musician. And also, yeah, Mr. Smith can play drums. He's an excellent bass player.
That is why the music industry is dominated right now. More by, songwriter. They don't perform the music. They just make the music and someone else,
Yeah.
Most of the music that's popular now, that's how it's made.
Yeah, indeed. I got to go on a rant, speaking of music and modern, and this is AI. So here's the old man get off my lawn rant. I was on, I'm not going to name the show, but a show we probably all go to. And
I don't think you should really say it if you can't name it.
well, no, but I mean, it's just because I don't want to throw the show under the bus because it's not their fault. But there are people that submit their music to like a lot of these different shows. And I was in, and there was one song, and I'm like, the vocalist very much reminded me of Viv Sparrow. It was really nice. And, I'm commenting, wow, what a voice and everything. And so I go to this artist's link, and it's AI shit. And I'll say AI shit because it was a beautiful female voice, and this particular artist was a man, plays a couple instruments and everything. And just, they kind of put it in the description, but it buried. That pisses me off. I don't necessarily have an issue with people using AI because it's a tool like any others, but be upfront about what you're doing.
Here's the way I look at it. If you're a male singer and you want a female background singer, but you don't know any females to sing, and if there is a way for you to sing the part and the AI to create the voice, I'm all for that. You're doing it. If it's computer generated, then no. Then I'm
out. And that was what this was.
If it's computer assisted because you can't physically do that, I think then I'm fully in favor of it.
Well,
But
again,
there
it's
does need to be disclosure. Like Papa Tom did it on
Exactly.
one of his songs.
Zero issue
and
with that.
He wanted a specific type of voice, but he sang it all. And then
manipulated it
AI,
to
right?
sound like a female, and it was
And
fantastic.
I thought that was really cool.
No issue with that, none whatsoever. But don't get on and put in a MIDI thing, and then AI generates this female voice, and you stand up there and take your accolades for this great song.
Just like I very much love many guitar players, but if you record a song and cannot perform that song, like to me, if I record a song, I have to learn how to play it straight through. Otherwise, you're not really you can assemble pieces, you know, kind of thing. So I'm like, that's one of my old crotchety things. You got to be able to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, at least, get pretty close. I mean, I understand people play things in the studio and then have to go back and learn how to replay them or whatever. I'm fine with that. But to your point, John, yeah, I love Viv. She's got a great voice, but she's got a great voice and she sings it. And she's funny in that, she's so humble as an artist and everything. And then, somebody touting out this AI crap and everybody thinks it's wonderful. It's insulting to talented people like Viv. And
You know what?
pisses me off.
I think the most damaging part of AI created music, it's pretty much the same principle behind like when reality TV shows became so popular because it costs so little to produce and you make a huge profit. And like AI can easily replace people who make music for movies and stuff or bumpers in TV shows, at a very, a struggling salary as it is, and now it can be done for pennies, So ultimately, it's going to negatively affect actual musicians,
Oh, no
It has
question.
to,
Already is. Yeah, no question.
But then again, these are the times we're living in, and
I know it.
I know I'm an old dinosaur,
was
and I like
born
the
out of
things
time
I like.
sometime.
Yeah, and I don't fit in, and that's why I wrote "Fish Out of Water" because that's the world I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I posted this on my actual Facebook page and I saw it and I just thought it was beautiful. The underlying purpose of AI is to allow wealth to access skill while removing from the skilled the ability to
Yeah.
access wealth.
I mean, what did I just say? That Sony bought Pink Floyd's music catalog, but not just their catalog, they purchased their likeness.
Yeah. Oh, just
They
Yeah.
bought the way they look. How, what possibly could you be planning to do with that?
nothing good. Yeah. Yeah, and again, we're not against AI as a tool, but the tool can have the ability to run the roost, and that's the
Well, at
direction
some
that I'm
point,
against.
I mean, every time computers have come into a new market, the first thing they do is decimate the workforce, took over cash registers and you only need 3 people in at a store with like 12 register banks now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not self-checking out. This is part of the service. I want a person to run my shit through, Otherwise, I'll just buy everything online, which is my preference anyway, but you can't really get food online or groceries. I mean, you can actually, but that's a pain in the ass.
You can.
Then you got to
yeah.
pay too much money.
Well, and
You got to pay service fees, delivery fees,
and frankly,
some
as the
guy
person,
looking at your groceries. Did he just touch my bread?
yeah, I will always buy my own groceries. I've always done it.
I have a great system now. Like, it's a 2-bag grocery run. I have like 2 bags, and I'll go in and fill them up, bring them to the register, and empty them out, and then repack them and go. So I don't mind 2 bags. Like, ever see those families? They got like 2 carts. They're like stocking up for the apocalypse. We can't do that. That's
Yeah. Well, it's not. That's a very American concept.
Yeah, it was.
It's the right way to go.
It was funny the other day. I knew we needed some stuff like necessities. I needed milk for my coffee. My kids are out of ice cream. There was no Splendor for my coffee. So I stopped and I picked up some
prices.
stuff. And then my wife came home and bought the exact same. So my kids were like, "We got 2 gallons of ice cream,"
Whoa!
because mom and dad don't know how to communicate.
Well, again, that's my job, and we've got a list that we keep on the table, and we write stuff down when we think about it. But I fired my wife from shopping probably in year 2 of our marriage, and she never really enjoyed doing it. We'd go to the store, and she's like, "You're way better at this than I am. Do you mind?" And I said, "No, I enjoy it." So I've shopped ever since.
My wife hates going food shopping. I don't mind doing it. Like, hey, I'm out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like, so she'll make the list and I'll go. Like, although, where she drives me crazy, she's like, she'll tell me to get something and not realizing it's me. Like, get apples. Like, how many apples? What kind of apple? But like, can you just fucking tell me all of the information I need to know to make this
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to be the guy in the supermarket going, "Oh dear." Walking down. I don't see that.
I will buy the wrong stuff before I would call my wife. But
No.
since I do all the cooking, then that's not a problem. I know what I need.
She doesn't particularly like me going because I always come home with dad picks, like, ooh, fresh croissants or cheese. Random. Here. I've never tried this cheese or
Random
junk for
cheese.
junk for my kids.
I get you.
That's one of the fun things about going shopping.
Yeah, I'm leaving this comment up here because this is important. Baby boomers have been on the. I mean, we watched the moon landings, and they're sending these guys up there in aluminum foil with slide rules, and we've gone from that to where we are now. And as baby boomers, we've had to learn all of that stuff.
Yeah.
My first computer job, I'm arranging the punch cards to run through the machine.
I think though people miss the biggest thing about it because you're right. We flew to the moon with the power of a freaking calculator. And they're still doing it today, and they can't really go much freaking further. They really can't do anything greater than what was done all that time ago with aluminum foil and batteries and shit, And that says a lot about technology. It's like, it can do things faster and, So,
Well, here,
ingenuity plays a big part of anything that happens.
Oh, absolutely. But it was on exhibit here in Denver for a while. They had one of those early Gemini capsules that was lost at sea and then recovered, and they had it displayed in the Science Museum here, along with parts of the lunar lander. And, you were able to actually stick your head in this capsule, and it was unbelievable how primitive this was. And you're looking at it going, we actually sent people up into space in this? Are you
And they
fucking
said yes.
kidding me?
And they said yes.
And they lived and came back.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, we're sorry, Wendy. We're talking about science and history and stuff. Do what?
What the who? Yeah. And that's right. That it literally was a tin can. His skin was so thin, and like I'm looking at the components.
Well, that's why
and,
they called it skin. It wasn't a shell. It was a skin.
Yeah, it's skin, literally. Yeah, it was just crazy. See, we got a Yearban on Major Tom. There you go. The monkeys died. Yeah, some of them did. And we lost some astronauts, and there was a fair number of cosmonauts that didn't make it.
Now, you know what? That's a wonderful thing to say. We cover anything. We cover what you're talking. We're not starting the conversations. We're just picking them out of chat.
That's right. we can go
I'm pretty
a lot of
hammered.
places.
Just want to say.
Okay, good. Wow. See, this is a good night. We're having good conversation. Don's got a nice buzz on. Mm-hmm. Life is good. I'm actually finishing the last of my coffee.
I'm not hating Gillinger anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty good. How I go. Yellinger.
You know, simple
Gillinger.
pleasures, Chris. Simple pleasures.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, there's nothing wrong with. I'm looking forward to
And
tomorrow
my-
night
my
getting
ne-
just a little buzz on. And,
My next 6-pack will be Peroni.
nice.
Nice Italian beer. Cheese buzz.
We've confused poor Wendy. We've had too much variety on our variety
Yeah.
show.
What are they talking about? We don't even know.
Yeah,
So, I shall be in full Halloween decorating mode this weekend.
nice. I got to get that picture of the neighbor's house. I promised. I'll get that for next week.
It's-
Because there's a couple houses in this neighborhood that go nuts. So it's.
Are you
too
saying
much
I'll
work for me.
get Bush if I join you, or get Bush beer? No, I'm not going to drink Bush beer. No.
No, why would you? This ain't college anymore. Actually, I didn't drink that crap back when I was in college.
I don't particularly like super fancy beer. Main thing is, I just do not enjoy drinking beer in a can or soda in a can. I don't like drinking from a can. I don't know. It's my thing.
Oh, that's always a fun one. No,
Yeah, frankly, I just like, it doesn't really affect me if it's real or not. So, whatever.
well, if we didn't go to the moon, then why are we talking about going to Mars?
And why did I pay all that money for moon rocks?
That's right.
And I bought a star. Did I tell you I bought a star?
Good call.
It's gonna be an investment.
Yes, I'm buying a little piece of Scotland so I can be an Earl of Scotland. Actually, I did look at there are certain countries in the world. I'm eligible for Irish citizenship. I could.
I saw the using ancient, and I immediately went, ancient Chinese secret, huh?
Yeah, that's how old we are. We remember those commercials. Ring around the collar, ring around the collar. Oh no, ring around the collar.
But the
Hey,
greatest thing
wash
about
your
those-
fucking neck.
They actually they had Asians doing the commercial. They were the ones saying it. You know.
Yeah.
That's how popular being a bigot was when we grew up. The people who were the subject of the joke actually were the ones hired to do it.
Yeah, the Frito Bandito had nothing on Juan. So, or vice versa, yeah. Different, simpler times in some ways. Not necessarily enlightened times, but simpler.
I don't get really to discuss all my Halloween preparations, though. We got sidelined. But yes, I'm decorating for Halloween. I got my kids involved. They're going through the garage pulling stuff out. My main read thing is because last holiday season, from Halloween to Christmas, I could not. My wife did all the decorating, so she did pretty good. So I got to. I have to stick it in her face this year and make it
Get after it, huh?
bigger.
Nice.
Yeah, so I bought new stuff and I've hidden it.
Well, and this is a good segue. Do not forget on Halloween night
That's
where you're
right.
going to be. You going to be out
Right
trick or
over-
treating? No, you're not. You're coming here to the Chip and Don show.
yeah, we
the
will
Halloween
inspect the candy.
Palooza,
Yes. Boozapalooza.
Boozapalooza, and we are going to have a raging. I'm just going to stick a bowl of candy on my porch and go knock yourselves out, you little
I'm
effers.
actually going to work on a. Basically, we're going to at least invite every live streamer that we associate with and stuff to come
come
up
on,
and
in
play,
costume.
hang out in costume. We want people to. If people are in costume, they can come up or they can send us their picture. And I want to see if one of these lovely live streamers who actually have merch will donate some merchandise for a costume contest or something.
Yeah, we gotta have a costume contest, and
Dog Paw will be there putting razor blades in candy.
that's right to protect the kids from the poisonous candy.
I'll teach them. It's going to be fun.
Ellie Mae Quinn.
I thought, that would be funny, but it's too late, really, that the theme would be you have to dress like another YouTube person. That'd be fun. But that could go wrong very fast.
That could go wrong. That really.
But that
could
is
go
the whole point of doing that kind of thing, so.
All right.
I love me some beef jerky.
I do too. That's one of the things I keep around as a snack. So I love beef jerky. Oh, now here's an idea. Not that hard. Get a blonde wig and a flannel shirt. You're 90% of the way there.
It would cost you about $12 to become both Chris and I.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be the mashup.
Oh my God, what if we did Topsy Turvy Day and one day Brenda and Wendy were Dom and Chris and we were Brenda and Wendy? Then I would have to ride the pig, Chris.
Go here. Right. The pig, buddy. And I'd just be going, Dom, come on now.
Oh, you could be like if me and Chris were in the Star Trek world and we were going to an alien planet using the teleporter and our beams got crossed and somehow you came out the other side as a what would our name be? A Chad.
Yeah. Something terrible.
That was Tuvix.
And you'd know it was the evil me because I'd have no goatee.
Neelix and what was the Vulcan's name? Tuvok got caught in a transporter incident and became merged. So, yeah.
Oh, remember when they had the parallel worlds and, Spock was the evil guy with the goatee and,
the goatee.
Yeah. That was a good episode.
Yeah, beards make you a badass.
That's right. You're right there, evil. But again, in our world, we'd be evil if we were clean shaven, and that's how you'd know.
No, you got to pay extra for the attitude. That's years of hard knocks.
That's right. Attitude not included.
Oh, that would be a great thing to put on the box.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny.
Yep, you could do it. Remember, you can get my costume at Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
The official Chris Lane costume. Right there.
And Wendy, just so you know, we don't call it Italian dressing. We call it oil and vinegar.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah. In China, it's not called Chinese food. It's just called food. That's how that works.
Oh, too funny.
Yes.
I need a snack. 10 minutes.
Don't we all need a snack?
My wife, she did leave me, but she made there was a beef stew on the crock pot when I came home. Oh, it smelled so good. And it was rough because I kept jumping in the house, grab one kid and run back out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, it smells so good in here. Tuvix, there you go, dog paw.
He knows.
Great episode.
Yeah.
And all you need is a flower, right? It was a flower actually got onto the transporter paths, causing all this mayhem. And it was actually a pretty intense episode because they killed Tuvix. Like it became a sentient being with two personalities and stuff, and then they split them apart, killing them. So it was
Interesting.
fascinating. Very
Voyager was a
deep.
great show.
Yes.
Yeah, Voyager was a great show. I dug
Yes.
that.
It was and it wasn't.
What didn't you love about Voyager?
I don't know. I couldn't really say specifically. I watched every single episode, but I've told you, I've always, every day of my life since the 1990s, I've watched an episode of Star Trek, and I constantly watch them all. Some are harder to get through, like Deep Space Nine. Once it goes all religious, I'm like, oh, it's rough to finish. But I still do. But like my happy place is Star Trek: The Next Generation, season 5.
Yeah,
So I
Deep
could watch
Space Nine.
those.
I was lost most of the series because I wasn't real. And once they got in the war and everything, it was like, okay, well, there's action and Cisco's a badass and okay. But yeah, I had trouble following that one. We don't count off for spelling, 3 Dot Dave, so that's good. But 2 O's in 2. But in the chat, we don't.
You got school, Dave.
No, I'm just saying, we don't count off for that because I mistype
You
all
are a
the
terrible
time.
type of Chris.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And then corrected him.
Well, that's it. I can spot the errors. It's my job. I just
Exactly.
don't necessarily do better myself.
yeah.
I'm like, well, that guy did it wrong. And then I'll screw up I have to correct my corrections sometimes. I love that. Prepare to be assimilated.
Locutus.
Yeah, and
to
they
get
are
my kids
nerds. I'm just not a Star Trek nerd. I like the
You're
show.
a train nerd. Come on.
Thank you. I am a train
We're
nerd.
all a nerd of one way. or another.
Absolutely. There's guitar
Most of
nerds, and there's, men have nerd tendencies. Some women do too. But
Pole vault's a junk nerd.
he's a junk nerd, bargain hunting nerd.
What kind of nerd is he, Urban? That's good.
I
don't know if he's good enough to be a nerd yet. He's a little young.
I don't know. He might have
One day.
nerdish tendencies.
Yeah, maybe.
He's kind of into some of the recording. He shows nerdish tendencies on
Yeah.
some of his sampling and looping. So maybe that's where he's a nerd. See, junk and stuff. I found a sign at an antique store, and it was stuff and junk, and I sent it to Pole Vault because it made me think of him. So there's his nerd thing. Comics. There you go. Yeah. Video games. Okay. Yeah, those are all nerdish. Not judging.
So let me ask you a question here, Urban. When you were young, like kid, did you play like video games all the time? Because if you did and you're you now, I am going to take my kid's computer away tomorrow.
No, they didn't have video games when I was a kid.
No.
Pong was invented when I was in high school.
Yeah, no, that is why we are the greatest generation ever, because we were there at the birth of our own demise.
The best 4-bit technology there was. And then it went to 8-bit.
But really, we're the only group of people who knows life before and after computers.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, I go back. My first video game system, E-Urban, was Telstar, which was basically Pong.
Yeah. what was the Galaxian? What system was that?
Galaxia?
Yeah, what was that system? That was the one we
I
had.
think that was an Atari, right?
Yeah, Atari. That's what it was. Yeah, I was the first. Again, I was a senior in high school. We got an Atari. Ooh, and the
Well-
cartridges you had to. Yeah.
I mean, Atari was in the early '80s, right? That their height, and then
Yeah, they were
Ultimate Demise.
done.
and then video games didn't resurge until, was it like the Xbox or PlayStation? Like until those,
Could
it was
be.
like it was a while. There was no new. There were
Yeah, I
video games
basically
were
missed all of
done.
that stuff. You know, I had that first Atari system, and then I went off to college, and
No, I had several growing up. I wish I still had all. You know, well, actually, I get those for my kids. We keep them up in Pennsylvania. Like, so now you can buy the little, like, Sega Genesis console, and it has all their big games in it. So we have the Sega, we have the ColecoVision, we have,
oh yeah, ColecoVision.
I don't know, a few others. So that's cool going old school every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, the one that I loved is the handheld, the Mattel football game. Remember that?
Oh, God, yeah. Mhm.
Played the shit out of that, and then they reissued it, and I bought it for my kids, and they loved it. And you know, they were kind of into the handheld games. They had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still big.
yeah, we've been around. Fun stuff. Well, I think we are to the point where we should prepare another fantastic Mr. Smith song and bid our audience adieu.
Adieu, everyone. Adieu.
Yes, thanks everybody for being here. We had a great time with everybody tonight. Always fun to see everybody and chat about this, that, and the other thing. Keep Wendy guessing as to what topic. She said it's hard to
Yes.
mod your channel, and I don't know how I agree. We've got such nice people. You don't have to kick people out. You don't have to watch people
Yeah,
from
you
being.
basically just get hammered.
Yeah, you can sit
tell
here and
funny
drink
jokes.
and
Yeah,
and
we're
play
very,
along.
We're very mod friendly.
Yeah, we really are. And yeah, we don't make the mods work too hard here, which is good. They throw a couple links. Hey, life is good, right? Well, so on behalf of Dom and myself, let's present a little Mr. Smith, and let's go away to his desert island. Mr. Smith, everybody, thanks for being here.
Take care, folks.
Gonna paint my room like a desert island. Yellow sand and blue lagoons. Invite you all to come and live there one afternoon. It'll be when no one's looking. More likely than not. We'll close the door and turn the sky up. Find a good spot. Air, fire, water, earth, you were paradise. But I'm sorry about me. But I was under the impression that it's you were Gonna paint my room like a desert island, with clear skies and rising swell. Leave the jaded clowns on the horizons in wall streets of hell. I must say goodbye to the blindfold and pursue the ideal of the planet becoming the hostess instead of the meal. Air, fire, water, earth, you were paradise. And I'm sorry about me, but I was under the impression that you were free and easy. Free and easy to plunder.